The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is risk-free same-game parlay Thursday night football, Thursday, October 7th, 2021. This show begins now.
Yeah!
Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. Shout out to you for listening at SiriusXM Channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio. Watching along at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Obviously, a massive Thursday night football matchup that we have been waiting for some time. An NFC West clash in Seattle. My risk-free same-game parlay for this game will be coming out in the coming moments. This is the week that we will take millions and millions of dollars from FanDuel together in a risk-free option in which you have to opt in, but once you do so, a $10 bet will probably turn into up over 140.
Whoa!
We had the official council have an official vote, and the majority voted. It was not a clean sweep. I will say there was a little bit of contention, but the majority of the council did vote, and we got this same game parlay figured out this morning. I believe both offenses are going to do well. I believe both quarterbacks are going to do well. I believe, with that being said, you also got to think about the Seattle Seahawks run game against the Los Angeles Rams defense, who is good, but against the run, stats say not that fantastic. They could move to 3-point favorites in Seattle. There's a lot to chat about. I think the Rams are going to win tonight, but we will have to talk about all of that as these hours unfold. No AJ Hawk today, but we have some incredible guests. AJ's at a black tie affair, hoity-toity, high-fluting around somewhere, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing what he has to do, what seems to be every other day at this.
Yeah, per usual. Yeah.
We need somebody doing that type of stuff, though, because we ain't ever going to be those types of people.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
You know, because we have a show every single day.
Have a job.
But when AJ shows up, it is a joy. It is a presence. It is a state of mind that we will not be able to find today because AJ won't be here. He's at an event. We will miss him. We have Justin Tucker joining us in about 10 minutes from now. We'll chit-chat with him about his Monday Night Football matchup coming up against the Colts, who are hot.
Yeah.
Very hot.
Getting it going.
Not that the Ravens aren't, or this guy isn't. 50 for 50 in his last 50 field goals in fourth quarter.
Is that good?
I think like 27 of them, maybe more than 40 yards. I forget. I just saw the incredible graphic that Dirty put together for us, drawn to the game here in the office. Has been quite a weapon. There's a graphic that we have about Justin Tucker's stats. Yeah, here we go. 50 straight field goals made in the fourth quarter or overtime. 21 of 27. God, because the sevens are
right below it. Yeah.
Come on, dude. 21 of 50 have been from 40-plus yards, 7 of 50 from 50-plus. Never missed a kick in the final minute of regulation, 18 for 18 or whatever, 16 for 16. 66-yard game winner and new NFL record, longest field goal in NFL history. Fucking robot of a man.
Not too shabby.
That's wild.
Can't wait to chat with him in about 10 minutes. We'll ask him, do you have feelings?
Okay.
Do you have emotions? Are you just a stone cold killer at all times? He has obviously a beautiful family, but I don't know how he goes about flipping that switch and just never seeming to be off. Can't wait to chat with him. In that same game, he kicked a 66-yarder. He actually missed one earlier, and it was alarming to me. I was like, what the fuck just happened? In a dome. I thought he was sick. I thought something was wrong. And then at the end of that game, he kicked the longest field goal in the history of the NFL.
No big deal.
Of course, because he never misses. Ian Rappaport will join us for a wrap-up of the week. I remembered to text him this morning. That's awesome. Last week, I had forgot. This week, we're back on track. Ian Rappaport, host of the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends.
Hell yeah.
We would be the Friends because his original podcast, Rap Sheet and Friends, got canceled because we do believe the and Friends had a little bit of a disagreement with Rap Sheet.
That's right.
Ditched him.
And the NFL put him on hiatus, and they're never going to deem it to return.
Yeah.
No way.
And then Jeff Saturday will join us in the third hour.
Hey.
Yeah, plus your phone calls, 1-833-4-McAfee on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Can't wait to chat with you about your thoughts about our same-game parlay, the big-time game tonight in the NFL, and anything about our guests. Tone Diggs is here, the host of Hammer Down, which went undefeated last night. Clean sweep in the Mega Bowl by the Hammer Dahn. First 5, your bet. Mitt said, I'm only watching the first inning, had a run scored in there. Gumpy had one overall. I mean, you guys are hot. You have been in baseball this entire season. Now that baseball is more on the forefront for 2 days because the Mega Bowls that take place. First, the AFC Baseball Mega Bowl, where we learned that the Boston Red Sox will move along because the New York Yankees stink at baseball.
Hell yeah.
Then in the NFC Baseball Mega Bowl last night, we learned that the Dodgers will go on in a thrilling ending.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Mega Bowl lived up to its hype. One game will decide whether or not you get to continue after 162 have already been played. This one 9-inning set for extra innings if we need it. This one game will determine whether or not your season was a failure or a success. This one game, Mega Bowl, will decide whether or not your season, which is already too long, is extended, or your season that has been so damn long is over and you get to go fishing.
Ooh.
One game gets to decide all those things. What will Legacy made? And last night, bottom of the 9th, huh?
Yeah.
After Max got pulled way too early.
Way too early.
As I was watching, I'm like, hey, let the big dog eat out there.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? This is the Mega Bowl. What are we pulling Max out in the 4th inning? What are we doing after the 4th inning, right? Why are we pulling Max out?
4 and 3rd, yeah.
Yeah, and then all the things start happening, and the Cards are doing their thing. They're playing baseball. I'm like, holy shit, these teams are really showing out here for the Mega Bowl. This is electrifying baseball. And then the bottom of the 9th, when old buddy fucking home run in a massive spot guy fucking stepped into that batter's box. We all knew when Cuzzy with the Cuzzy Joseph Taylor.
Chris Taylor.
Chris Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
When Chris Taylor stepped into that. Appreciate you, Zeke. We tried. You know what I mean? We tried. Zeke and I had a little bit of a.
I tried finding
we
it
tried,
too.
yeah. And he came in with the extra pickles. That's what happened. That. So I heard.
I was too excited to say it. My mouth literally went over the mic.
Yeah, that was a BK Lounge callback. But in my ear, literally, I heard Taylor. So but I think I heard an S in there. But I appreciate you, Zeke. Hey, hey, Zeke. You're amazing back there.
Thank you,
baby
thank you,
Zeke.
thank you, guys.
But when Chris Taylor fucking swung that bat, there's nothing like that feeling, I mean,
There's not.
There is in football and many of the other sports as well, but that is just a much different one. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And last night, I don't think anybody could say the NFC Mega Bowl didn't live up to the hype. Am I right or am I wrong?
it delivered.
At Ty
I mean,
Schmidt and at Boston Connor, big-time baseball fans.
Nothing better than a walk-off dinger to win a Mega Bowl, And their prize, their second best team in baseball this year record-wise. Now they got to go play the best team in baseball record-wise. So a lot of people are saying that about the Dodgers. Not really fair, but I'll tell you what, both Mega Bowl games, just great. Great for baseball. No better time than right now.
Hold on. So the Dodgers had the second best record in baseball? Why are they playing in the Mega Bowl?
Because the team in their division has the best record in baseball.
Whoa.
So baseball stinks even more than I thought.
Yeah.
Just like it goes to
Baseball stinks even more than I thought. There was a chance that the second best team in baseball wasn't going to make it in. After 162 games, the second best team in baseball wasn't going to make it in because of one 9-inning thing when I thought the entirety of the season is such a big deal. Wow.
And they're the favorites to win the World Series, actually.
Yes.
Baseball's the best, dude.
The Mega Bowl, baby.
Hey, baseball is like those restaurants that have their bestseller not on the menu.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, actually, it's just like football because Washington hosts the Bucks last year because they won that shitty division.
True, but there was never a question if the Bucks were going to get in or not.
Correct.
You know what I mean? That was the whole thing. And this year with the extra team, I think, right? Don't they have
Started last year.
Started last year with
yeah.
the extra game, 17 or whatever the case is. Whenever that happens, and you have 17-game season, now there's a chance, like the NFC West. We're going to see 2 of their Titans clash. There's a chance 3 of them are going to make it in.
Oh, yeah.
And then obviously whichever division's going to be the worst, whichever one it's going to be. A lot of people say maybe AFC South. I don't know.
Be the AFC East
That
too.
might be no, never been that way.
Yeah.
Never been that way. Yeah, but anyways, baseball stinks now, right? It's over.
Yeah.
Mega Bowl has happened. Now we're done.
The Mega Bowls are over, unfortunately. But Gumpy Red Sox. They play tonight.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's baseball tonight.
yeah.
Tomorrow is the
God.
best baseball
Today.
day of the year. There's 4 games, all right back to back, all playoff games. It's the best baseball day of the year.
Tomorrow is March Madness for baseball.
Yes.
Wow.
Let's go.
What time's that start?
2, I think.
This is awesome. And then Friday Night SmackDown, obviously.
Yeah.
So I can.
8 o'clock. That game's done. Whatever
Yeah.
baseball teams are playing against that.
Dodgers and Giants, they stink.
Yeah,
See you later,
Second best
TBS.
record in baseball versus the best record in baseball. I mean, that's a pretty big game. Yeah, but they stink or whatever
Yeah.
the case is.
No one's gonna watch.
Is
that.
when's Joe Buck start calling every game?
FS1 has a game tomorrow or tonight. FS1 has both games tonight. So
Is
you'd
that
think-
Joe then, or is that somebody else?
You would think it would be.
Because remember, they always have that graphic where Joe's flying around. All right, Joe's doing Thursdays, Joe's doing baseball, Joe's doing Sunday. Come aboard the Buck plane. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it's always very, very impressive. But that's whenever I'm reminded, like, oh, these games matter because Joe Buck's calling them. Is that just the World Series? And how many divisions? How many rounds do it until we get to that?
Well, we're in the divisional round right now,
And then the championship round,
and then the World Series.
Okay.
But I think Adam Amin might be calling one of those games as well. I know
Let's go.
Yeah, he's got a couple high-profile baseball games this year, so he might be part of that package.
Congrats to Adam Amin, by the way. Hard earned.
Does
Great
Buck
guy.
have the football game tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's probably.
Yeah, he probably has
Yeah.
Rams Seahawks.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, he has Ramsey. But I'm talking about whenever he starts calling baseball, that's when I know it matters.
Oh, well, whenever the Sox are playing, aside from tonight, is when Buck's calling baseball again.
Oh, you're talking about World Series.
Yeah, well, or Saturday night. Just because we got a game tonight, take a day off, then the Sox are right back at it.
And these are best of 5s in the divisional
Yes.
round. Smart, by the way. This is an intelligent move. Did,
Yeah.
did basketball do this as well? No. They're best of 7 all the way
They
through.
used to, then they changed it. It used to be first round was 5 games, then they changed it to 7 a few years back.
And that's just because, and this is real in the NBA, I think players know this as well. The NBA playoffs are always on national television.
Always.
And they are so long. They're a season in of themselves. That is what people remember as the NBA is just the playoffs. Like if you lose in the first round of the playoffs, I think the idiot fans, myself included, would be like, yeah, bad year for. I mean, we only saw them for what, 5 games or whatever. They were out there because those are so long. Baseball acknowledging that the game is incredibly long already. People are having tough time staying awake through these entire baseball games. What are we going to do? Shorten it down to 5. That's smart. That's good baseball. That is very, very smart. I like what they
Yeah, you would think the NBA was going to go back to the 5 games just because.
Come on,
what's
no,
the
they want
point?
more, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
they want more because that's when the only time most people watch is the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Same with
That's
baseball.
when all the superstars are there.
That's right.
Speaking of superstars, here's a guy who has become an absolute household name and a legend with his right leg.
Ooh.
Yeah, he used to be down in the Hook'em country. I got a chance to see him at a college football camp, and he was bombing balls and swagged out. And I said, I love this guy. He has always had a massive leg now. It is inked in history that he has the longest field goal in the history of the NFL at 66 yards. Ladies and gentlemen, the Baltimore Ravens kicker, All-Pro, Justin Tucker. What's up, dude?
What's up, Pat?
Hey,
What
is
an
that-
intro, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, you deserve it. Is that your actual locker, and is it always that clean? Is that real right there?
No, absolutely not. So, like, our media relations guys have this whole studio set up. So, I mean, yeah, we got like we got Lamar
Lamar's
Jackson's fake
and-
jersey. We got
Yeah.
my fake jersey. We got Marlon.
Hey, shout out.
Yeah. No, we got like actually a pretty sweet setup in here, but definitely not my real locker. My real locker is quite messy. I know where everything is, but if somebody else came in trying to find anything, it would be a mess.
Bingo. I mean, look at my desk. I mean, this is probably worse than your locker if I had to guess. But
That's fine.
yeah, but I know where everything's at, Tuck. All right. And when AJ Hawk comes in here, he ruins it, demolishes it. That's neither here nor there. Let's talk about you having your own locker and the media set up as a kicker, especially at this stage with how great you are. Harbaugh in the press conference after the game said something along the lines of when you got Lamar Jackson and you got Justin Tucker, Like, these are decisions you make or something like that. Something along the lines of when he was talking about his star players, the kicker got announced, and I think everybody is completely okay with that because of how impressive you have been. I just want to let you know, congrats on fucking changing the game. Yeah. All right? That's real. Congrats on that.
It's always love for the brand, man. And we're lucky here in Baltimore to have a head coach, John Harbaugh, with a special teams background who appreciates that the guys who swing their leg around and match foot to leather, they can change games, and they can be important. At the exact same time, I do understand that my role is limited compared to the real superstars like the Lamar Jacksons and the Marlon Humphreys and the Tyus Bowsers and everybody else with the fake lockers in the media studio. But no, man, we're really just having a great time right now. We're enjoying the ride. We're building some momentum right now, and it's exciting to be a part of.
Yeah, and I understand you acknowledge the fact that you only have a certain amount of plays in a game, right? That is something you have to, which people don't realize. That means if you're doing good, cool, you could potentially cool off. But if you're doing bad, you just have to sit and wait for your opportunity to make up for it. And I know it's a couple weeks removed from it, but that miss early in that against Detroit, I don't know if you saw it, I actually tweeted, I thought you were potentially hurt. I thought something was happening. Then you had to sit on that for a bit. That doesn't happen to you often. Was there anything that happened in that miss? Because I thought you were potentially going to go on IR, because that is not what the machine Justin Tucker does.
As much as I'd like to emulate a jugs machine out there, the reality is that if you play long enough, you're gonna miss one or two here or there.
I'd say, yeah.
It just so happened to be I found out after the fact. It just so happened to be my first miss indoors in my NFL career. So it only took me 10 years. So I feel halfway decent about that, and I feel better about it because I got a chance to make up for it at the end of the game. But yeah, you're totally right, man. Like if you have a bad ball and you do have a limited number of opportunities to begin with, just sitting with that energy for however long, it can be terrible. But that's just part of it, and it. It's just one of those things you just got to adapt and overcome, and not get too too high with the stuff that goes well, and not get too low when it doesn't. So, just to be able to bounce back, so to speak, from an early struggle in that game, and then go on and make the rest of our kicks. That's definitely I say it's part of it, but it is it's rewarding at the same time.
Yeah, it's amazing, especially whenever allegedly the longest you went in warm-ups was 65, which is hysterical, by the way, that you're still going from 65 in every warm-up. I love that. Keep it fucking going.
You have to. You got to test the range, and I love that you peppered in allegedly into that. Very, very well done. Little Easter egg.
Well, I wanted to let people know that. I don't know if you were saying that was all you had or whatever, and you found an extra yard and a half or whatever, but I've seen you just demolish footballs. But in games, so much has to go right for it to go through. And I think that is why it's so impressive that you hit from 66. That has to be a pure, perfect stroke. And the ability to adjust and have the little kickoff step on there, it's unbelievable what you did out there, dude. Legit.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you saying all that, man. And it's cool to hear somebody else dive into the nuance of how to get a ball to travel as far as we were able to. And I emphasize like Nick Moore, by the way, his first game-winning field goal snap.
Hey, here we go, Nick. Here we go, Nick.
Perfect strike. 12 o'clock laces. Sam Cook is Sam Cook. He
the go.
Just nails as always. And then we joke about it, but the ball can just sit up there for forever, and the ball could kick itself. Now, when you're 66 yards away, you got to find a little bit. You got to dig a little bit deeper to find just a little bit something to get the ball to go. Like the kickoff approach, or the modified kickoff approach with the swing where I land on my kicking foot and not my plant with the skip that. A lot of you see a lot of kickers execute.
All of them.
That's something that has kind of been in the back of my mind for a little over a year, I was just messing around on field 3 in practice, on like a cooler day, maybe like last year. And, when the weather starts to shift and it starts getting colder, the ball just simply doesn't go as far. It's less elastic. The air is, just different. So finding a way to get the ball to go when you absolutely need to, i.e. for example, at the end of a game, down by 2, you got to have it, and you're 66, 67, however many yards away. It's kind of a toss up between, are you going to throw a ball into the end zone, or are you going to, let me just lay away into one? And if I'm being sent out there, it's for the express reason of making the kick. Like, it's because they believe I can do it. Even if I don't know if I can do it myself, I just have to convince myself that I'm going to get this ball there one way or another, and
it's going to make it,
or at least give it a chance. And that's exactly what we did the other week in Detroit.
Man, that's awesome to hear the little nuances behind it, because you had that little skip step in there. And then last week you were in Denver, and everybody's excited to go to Denver if you kick balls. I mean, let alone if you're coming fresh off of a longest NFL kick in history or whatever. I mean, you probably feel pretty good going in there. I think they had video of you going from 72 or 70 or something like that. How was the interaction with Mcmanus? How was the interaction with Mcmanus in warm-ups?
Oh, it's cool, man. Brandon's a good dude. He's an excellent kicker. To get to slap hands with the guy and just, kind of share a moment in pregame. He offered his congratulations for what we were able to do the previous week. And I just said to him, listen, man, it could have been any of us, there's a handful of guys out there that have the ability to launch the ball. And, sometimes it is right place, right time. Like you said a little bit ago, everything kind of just has to line up perfectly. The stars have to align, so to speak. So, I already mentioned Nick Moore threw back a perfect snap. Everybody up front just held it together for, a little bit longer than, they normally would have to. So we got that ball off in 1.4 seconds as opposed to our usual 1.3-ish. Sam puts down a perfect spot, and then I'm just able to lay away into the ball. But there are a handful of guys that have the ability to make a kick from that distance. It's just a matter of I happen to be in the right place, right time, and I've found a little bit of divine intervention somewhere in there to just get that ball to go. But Brandon and I had a nice moment just talking about it before the game.
Mcmanus is a big ball hitter, and everybody says, well, he's a big ball hitter because he's in Denver. It's like, no, that dude's a big ball hitter no matter where.
No, he can just crush the ball.
Yeah, he can fucking slaughter the ball, So, and I know there's a lot of guys that have those, big balls that they say, like, I wish I had the opportunity to get one. I wish I had the opportunity to get one. I got a 64-yard opportunity in preseason, fourth quarter to end it. Hadn't kicked a field goal yet all training camp.
I got to watch that one live in person. That was against the Baltimore Ravens at Indianapolis. I remember that.
I tried to not remember it. I tried to not remember it because I knew I was not like I'm never going to get that opportunity again, and I was so angry about it. And that's like it was a preseason game, so watching you go out and execute in the biggest moment, in the biggest opportunity, like is cool. And that leads me to this next question, right? And it's nice that you have acknowledged that other people could hit from there. And I think Vinatieri has said like there's a lot of kickers that could have made the kicks that I have made or whatever, the conference championship games, the Super Bowl games, but he just so happened to have those opportunities and he came through on them, right? Like that's the thing. Like everybody could make those kicks. Will you when the time comes? Maybe, but when you get your opportunity, do you go through it? Do you listen to the GOAT talk between you and Adam Vinatieri? Because the shit in the resume that you're putting together, if I was you, it'd be hard not to be like, yeah, I'm the fucking guy. But I think we all have a massive amount of respect for Vinatieri. I know I do. But do you hear that stuff? Do you even get involved in those conversations? And have you talked to Adam Vinatieri much?
Sure, you hear it. You're somewhat aware. But I also don't really care. Like, I'm just, I'm along for the ride, man. I'm trying to be present. I'm trying to enjoy each and every moment with my teammates, with my friends, with my coaches. Oh, yeah, I like that. And then,
be here now, yeah.
There's that's for everybody else out there to concern themselves with. I don't really care. What I will say is that Vin has the greatest resume. He had the greatest career that any specialist has ever had. And like you mentioned, like anybody could have made those massive kicks that he made time and time again. How many guys out there have the ability to just the ability to do it? Yeah. Many. But there are a very select few people that are blessed with the mind that that Adam has, and I'd like to think I have that as well. But it's also something that isn't just I don't know. It's not just some God-given gift. It's something that you do have to work at, and and it's something you have to embrace. I don't know if I'm making sense at this point.
No,
but
you are. Yeah,
it's just the guy is so accomplished for the reason for so many reasons. The biggest ones are he's an amazing athlete, and what's between his ears is absolutely special.
Justin, isn't that something that I think has only really recently come into full conversation? Because you and I mean, you longer than me, obviously 10 years in the NFL, also in college at Texas, you see a lot of guys that could be great football players. Like, oh my God, fast and everybody, great hands. For whatever reason, in between their ears, they just couldn't figure it out. The brain separates the average from good and the good from the great and then the great from the elite. And there's just levels to that thing. And what you're referring to is something that I've talked about is whenever we went out for a game winner or a big kick with Adam Vinatieri, the first time I went out there, I remember it like it was yesterday, because normally I would be the one trying to keep it loose. I'm just the caddy out there. Hey, this is what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and do this thing. Let's keep it moving. We went out there for like a game tie or a game winner. I forget what it was. And I was like, all right, old man, you fucking ready to go or whatever? And I look at him, and it was literally just as if his soul had left his body. I had no idea. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, oh my God. And I like looked back, and he wasn't even there. Ball goes through, and it wasn't until like the fist pump that he even realized, I think, that he was in society still. You know what I mean? Like, I think he was checked out that entire time. But that ability to flip the switch and focus in, I think it was very, like, I just learned something that you do have to continue to work on that and continue to evolve on that. Have you always had that? Because I wanted to ask you earlier, like, do you not have any feelings, emotions? Like, is that just something you can go into? How do you separate the moment? Because I'm not going to say it because there's like, you don't want to talk to somebody in the middle of a perfect game, but your whole career's been a fucking perfect game, basically. Your record in fourth quarters right now is stupid, and especially in the last minute. Is that flip of a switch always every kick, or is there something different about those?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, to be perfectly honest, there is a different feeling, a different vibe between a PAT in the first quarter and then a walk-off winner in the fourth. And you mentioned emotions and feelings and thoughts. I don't think that it's quite that you have to compartmentalize or ignore them and then put them away. I think it's more important to embrace and acknowledge that you're feeling any which way, whether it's confident, nervous, excited, thankful for the opportunity, or even outright scared. And I've said this before, it's always about focusing on the action and not the consequence. It's always about seeing the ball come off my foot, seeing the snap, picking out the dimples on the back of the ball, the back seam of the ball with my eyes, that I'm going to match up that big bone coming from my big toe, how I'm going to match that up to that sweet spot on the ball to send it end over end through the uprights. And then after the fact, I'll allow myself to enjoy the moment. But while you're actually kicking the ball, that 1.3 seconds between the snap of the hold and the kick, and then, the several seconds leading up to it, you can feel any which way, but your feelings don't matter unless you let them negatively. I just have, been working on, that's been part of, I would say, my evolution from, from being a decent kicker in college to a good kicker early in my career to, as consistent as we are now. I think the difference lies in, like every little detail. And, we talk about all the technical stuff that happens, on the field and with your body athletically. But then there's also, I think Brandon McManus even said it last week or somewhat.
Oh, no, McManus.
Oh, no.
McManus about
It's 90% mental. And then the other 10% is mental.
We actually got it. You broke up a little bit, then we heard the quote. 90% of it's mental, and then the other 10% of it's mental as well.
Yeah, exactly. Gosh, can we do something about the Wi-Fi?
No, well, they got too many fake lockers around there. You know what I mean? It's hurting the conversation, but you crushed it here, man, and you crushed it on the field. So incredibly proud. The boys have a couple questions for you. Is that all right?
Absolutely, yeah. I got just a couple more minutes, and then I got to run out onto the field. So yeah, let's fire when ready.
Nah, go do practice. Yeah.
More important.
Hey, actually playing the Colts.
Hold on.
We got a couple more. All right, no, I'm joking. Get back to practice. We appreciate you so much for taking some time. Thank you for allowing us a little bit of insight on why you are, how successful you are. It's unbelievable to hear, actually. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, kicker for the Baltimore Ravens, Super Bowl champion, All-Pro, Justin Tucker.
Yeah, Justin!
So, see, when I was kicking, I wish I would have thought of that stuff.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And Vinny, I would assume pretty similar type thing because all he was trying to make was solid contact every single time. But, man, what a fascinating conversation there. Because the ability just to lock in. He's 50 of his last 50 in the fourth quarter. I mean, that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
50 straight out of his last 50, including a 66-yard game winner. And then is that 16 or 18?
16.
16 for 16 in the final minute of regulation. So that's a lot. That's an entire season, every single game, by the way. Yeah, well, I guess old season now. Rest in peace to the 16-game season. But you get it. Just the ability to lock in like that. Vinatieri was able to do it in the biggest of moments. Justin Tucker has had his opportunities at some big moments. He's always come through for it. It feels like that brain being able to just lock in and make something happen regardless of how your body feels, regardless of how anything else feels. That's a very, very important superpower to have out there.
I was looking up random things about him. He lays out his uniform like this before every game. Is that weird?
Is that for a picture on Instagram?
Yeah. Well, it says he does it before every game, though.
Does he post it on Instagram every game?
Maybe.
That might be just hey, here's a mannequin.
Check it out. If Foxy was wearing an NFL uniform.
That's fucked up. What were you going to say there?
Do you think he was upset at Harbaugh that Harbaugh went for the 5 yards rushing to get that record instead of trotting him out for an 87-yarder at Mile High to get that record?
Hey, everybody is talking about Vic Fangio and Harbaugh being upset about that. What happens if Harbaugh trots fucking Tucker out there? I think Vic Fangio will probably be like, all right, let's see if this fucking guy can do it. He's really talented, man. He's so good. I remember him at that college camp. He had longer hair. He had a headband on. And whenever he'd do a kickoff, he would do the hook of horns.
Wow.
Yeah, instead of when people do kickoffs, normally it's one hand, for open hand, whatever it is, which used to be for, hey, everybody can run. And it was a sign so people on the far side of the field can see you so they know when you're going. But now that it's up to a yard, you don't even really have to do it anymore. But every time he did a kickoff, he put those things straight up.
That's fucking sweet.
I think I was rather hungover, obviously. And I was sitting in the bleachers, I think. And there's just 50 of the greatest college kickers in the game kicking on the field in front of me because Jamie Cole puts together this incredible collection of guys. And I think I don't know if it's invite only, but it feels like you got to earn your way into it almost, and I don't remember the exact steps because I don't think I went to it when I was in college or whatever, but it was cool to be a part of as I grew older. And I was watching this dude, and that was back when I was enjoying life and, still the same human, but doing different things. So I was wildly hungover or whatever.
Hell yeah.
And Nick loved those days for sure. But I was just sitting there, and this dude wearing Texas orange, and had a headband on, and he was setting his tee up right in the middle of the field because everybody's kind of stacked next to each other. It was I thought to myself, okay, if I was in college and I was at this camp, I would have probably been that guy right there. And he was just blasting balls through the end zone. Whenever you have that much confidence, but then also you are currently beating everybody that is around you that is supposed to be battling against you, it only, I think, increases a little bit. It was cool to kind of watch him kind of evolve into this. And everybody, he's an opera singer and everything like that.
Yeah.
He's a great fucking athlete. That guy, and he bombs balls, and he's small. I don't know how he has maintained, because although you said that looked like Foxy there in that jersey, he's not that much bigger. He's a smaller guy than a lot of the other big ball hitters. It's an impressive thing what he does.
It really is.
It's insane that he went
Against the
undrafted.
Steelers all the time.
Well, yeah, I know. As soon as he trots out there, I'm like, well, this is going in.
He got undrafted?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You'd think he'd be like a second-round pick.
Just let everybody know that if this all ends up ending and I get into the scouting department, I can scout kickers still drunk from the night before.
Yeah, that's right.
Did that
FYI.
at the Cole's kicking camp. That's the guy right there.
That'd be awesome. Like the guy from that one movie where all he has to do is hear the pitch and know how
Trouble
fast
with
it
the
was.
curve.
Hey, by the way, that is kind of
Yeah,
real
kicking.
in kicking too. Yeah,
Just hear it.
yeah. I had a coach tell me after I had knee surgery or whatever, and I was going through my rehab coming back, and it's like a flat ball, and then it's like a half swing or whatever, and I was a couple weeks out either from when it was expected to me be back or not, and they put me through an entire thing in the indoor facility, and there were some people working out, and there were some coaches in there running steps or whatever on the side thing, and I was just blasting balls into the ceiling, and one of the coaches came over and said, "You're back because I can hear it. There's a certain sound I can hear." And I was like, "Oh, you're talking about when I hit the roof or whatever." I think he's like, "No, there's two booms there," and that was when Boomstick was created.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a trainer, I believe, actually, who was with a coach who was talking about it. Yeah, that's when the Boomstick was created, and even then, obviously, I think it was used by like 5-6 other people in a much larger, more popular fashion, and then we just kind of moved along. But that was the entire thing. The sound is real. You can tell if somebody's like, okay, that person's going to make it in the NFL if they can make kicks, or that person done got enough juice to make it. A lot of people thought maybe Hot Rod wasn't going to have enough juice because he had Rigoberto Sanchez kicking off for him, the punter here at the Colts, but the sound of his ball didn't really, it wasn't a boom, but he was very accurate when he was at Georgia or whatever. Last year, he missed a couple kicks that were a little longer. He went to the weight room this offseason. He's come back as a fucking stallion. Hot Rod, that guy who wears rec specs for the Colts out of Georgia, he is bombing balls right now. Never thought he was going to be able to do it. He came back looking like fucking Mega Man.
You can tell.
He started setting up logos.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Legos,
Yep,
whatever the hell they
yep.
are. He's doing his little Lego set and squatting while doing it. He's bombing balls.
Too bad he doesn't get a couple more opportunities.
Well, his coach hates kicking.
Yikes.
And it, sometimes it seems like it's good to get points instead of no points. I think it's something to think about, but you got to leave every single bullet on the table.
That's right.
Got to empty the chamber.
Turn over some rocks.
That's right. Why is this a thing? Why are we not kicking field goals?
Not sure.
Is it these stats people? Because I don't want to have a war on the stats community.
I mean, it might be Wentz.
Gumpy, what's that, Gump?
You know whose fault this is.
What?
You know who.
I don't know. Gumpy's list is pretty long.
Was that going to be the doc? Was it going to be Mister? Was it going to be? What was it going to be? Gump does have a long list of you-know-whos.
I know exactly who he's
Yeah,
talking
there's
about.
one guy who sits atop it.
Yeah,
Hembo, this is not Hembo.
No.
Love Hembo.
Guy
One of these.
may have sent us a 600-page book on the NFL this year.
Oh, what's your guys' deal against Sharp?
You kind of took it on the shins the other day with
Brandon Staley
talking about how important the run game is.
Well, listen, I think stats can be an incredible weapon,
Sure.
both for good and for bad. Because for every stat, just like for what goes up must come down, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
That's right.
True.
So for every stat on this side, there seems to be a stat that you could potentially lay out in a fashion on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about fuck. Okay, I am nowhere near a statistician. I am kind of a mathematist. I'm pretty good at math pretty quickly because my job actually revolved around me figuring out how far is 50 yards from the line of scrimmage while I'm jogging on the field. Pretty quick math in that particular fashion, but I just believe that some people are abusing stats right now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Too often.
And then some people are buying into the people that are potentially abusing stats, and it's changing a lot of stuff. Stats are good, but we got to have a little feel too.
A little feel.
Let's have a little self-awareness. Let's get a little vibe for what's potentially going on, because humans aren't just numbers. And by the way, if it's more than 0 on a stat, that means what? It's happened before. Why the fuck couldn't it happen right now then? That's a question that you have to ask, and the stats people won't want to answer.
Nope.
Let's get to a break. We're back in 4 minutes on a 5-hour energy phone line. 1-833-4-McAfee. We'll chat with you then. Cheers. There's a big distraction this weekend in your hometown, the town that you live, at a bar I assume you frequent. Now, there's another angle coming out where Urban Meyer allegedly stuck his 2 fingers into the butt of a young co-ed wearing jeans. AJ, as somebody that lives in Columbus, Ohio, the alternate angle.
Does this video show that exactly?
Yeah.
The alternate angle is damning.
I've seen them all. I know.
Urban Meyer sticks a finger gun into butthole of lady who was once seen dancing on her wearing jeans. Is this a normal thing that happens in Columbus, Ohio? Is this expected? And what happened, do you think? Have you been at that bar?
I mean, yeah, I think he was at his place, Urban Meyer's Pint House, right? It's his own restaurant. And then what he said in his press conference, a group next door wanted some pictures, so he went there, and he should have got out of there when they tried to pull him on the dance floor, right?
Yeah, the group that was next to us wanted some pictures.
What?
And then they wanted some tequila. We have the best tequila in town.
What?
And then we had some cocktails.
What?
We had some spirited conversation about the Buckeyes.
What?
And then we went to the dance floor.
What?
I shouldn't have went to the dance floor.
What?
Once you get to the dance floor, one thing becomes another thing, which ends with 2 fingers in the butthole, it appears, of a young co-ed, and this is obviously a distraction for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we tease and pease towards everybody down there. Obviously not fun, not cool, but, you know, alcohol will do something to you every once in a while, get you feeling a little freaky out there, especially in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, I'm also, like, no one's talking about it. I'm worried about Urban's health. I mean, like, people talk about his heart, but he has 2 collapsed testicles from coming in his pants so hard sticking his fingers up that girl's butt. So I just hope Urban's doing well. I know it was a tough weekend. So ice those balls down, Urban.
Ice them down.
I mean, do you think he's put it in the past? Is he past this now? Is everyone going to forget about it?
I'm sure.
No. He addressed it.
It's definitely a spank bank.
I think so. I think we're all past it, man.
Oh, boy.
And the first video came out was from an account called Urban.
Yeah.
This
really?
guy
Did
is
they make an account just for that?
I don't know. I don't know if this is a regular thing from this particular account. I stumbled upon it just this week, and I think as all of us did. And then that video got taken down. And I wondered how. What was the go about? Did they have to look at surveillance? Who was sitting at this point? We got to get this thing going. But alternate angles are now coming, and obviously Urban, and I assume his team is, his team's probably, hey, you're all right, man. You don't have to worry about us, by the way. Seems like you're probably going to have some other conversations, but let's go win some games out there, Coach. Let's go ahead and do that. But God damn. Whoa, what a moment.
Yeah,
all right, we covered it. We addressed it. We had to.
Well, but now they're in a deep dive for ass and titties on Snapchat, because that is the one who put out the video of him finger banging.
The alternate angle.
The alternate angle.
Great journalist.
All right.
Plus a half, first 5.
If I could get anything decent, money line with Scherzer, but I'm not laying -1/2 at what it is for
Absolutely
first 5.
not.
So I'll take +1/2 with the Cardinals.
Might sprinkle Tommy Edman to get 2+ hits.
Mr. Edman.
On that point, just so I can get one pick in there, I ain't watching this game past the first inning. I'm throwing a run in the first inning. Probably the best bet in baseball.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back to that show here, wrapping up hour 1. Just had a conversation with Justin Tucker.
Good.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, he's the man.
I enjoyed that conversation a lot. Felt like I learned a lot from a human who is doing it at the highest of high levels in his profession that there's only 32 jobs at.
Yeah.
Pretty good shit. Can't thank him enough. Welcome to Risk-Free Same Game Parlay, Thursday Night Football Thursday. And I have been told now that it is officially on the site.
Yeah,
it is
there you
officially on FanDuel Sportsbook, which means one thing and one thing alone. That means tonight is the night that the Risk-Free Same Game Parlay hits, and we take millions and millions of dollars from FanDuel Sportsbook. Watching an incredibly great NFC West clash.
Hell yeah.
The Los Angeles Rams will travel up to Seattle to play against the Seahawks. I believe the Rams are favored by 2.5. It was on its way to 3. Is it still at 2.5?
It is.
Still at 2.5 in Seattle. Going to be a tough place to play. Hey, 12th man up there is live.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, that stadium's built to be live.
Yeah, they got those lime green uniforms on today, too.
Oh, no. Siciliano broke that news shortly after I sent in my official same-game parlay.
Yeah.
Wish Siciliano would have put that out a little bit sooner. That would have been very, very nice of him. That might have changed my same-game parlay. But 4-0 in those lime greens mean that they're due to lose in those lime green. No offense to the Seahawks. I appreciate your team, but it's get-back season for the Los Angeles Rams, and it just so happens to be in Seattle. Los Angeles Rams, money line. Matthew Stafford, over 300-plus passing yards, hammer it. Cooper Kupp, anytime scorer, hammer it.
Yep.
Also, Alex Collins, anytime scorer, touchdown. He's a running back for the Seattle Seahawks tonight. The Seattle Seahawks running game, pretty solid. And Russell Wilson over 250 yards passing. That's going to happen on 3 plays to Tyler Lockett. Rams still get a win. Could have hit the over. The over was super high, and we're already at plus 1432. $10 turns into $143. Risk-free after an opt-in. You get your money back on the site if we don't hit. Let's get this thing up. Let's try to take all the cashola from FanDuel.
Hell yeah.
So Wilson and Stafford overs. Seattle passing is giving up 28th. They're 28th in the league in giving up passing yards per game.
Bingo.
There it is.
The Rams are 25th in opposing passing yards per game. So they're also giving up a bunch of passing yards.
And we are getting an update here that although you are painting our picture of our same-game parlay to be a more beautiful one, putting a little filter on it, adding a little white in the teeth.
Yeah.
Hey, here's some stats
We
that
can
back
just
up what we're
willy-nilly
saying.
throw this against the wall.
Yeah, this is the council, by the way, that voted
right.
earlier. Zito telling me that it's more than plus 1432. It's plus 15 something.
Oh,
Plus what?
1560.
Okay, so $10 becomes $156. Let's go. Opt in, risk free, get that $10 back if we lose. All these things that we voted on to go into this same game parlay, risk free, was chatted about this morning. Did the discussions get heated? No. But were there some disagreements? A tiny bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Little
That's
bit.
good, though.
A little bit.
Little bit.
You need that whenever you're coming to a decision.
Have to have it.
And Gumpy said, hey, listen, I got the Seahawks plus 2.5. And I was like, whoa. Gumpy, you're like the hottest better of all time. And Gumpy goes,
Rams win by 1.
no
We're good.
big deal. We both
There it is.
win.
How you doing?
I done.
I hope this fucking hits, dude.
It's got it. This is the week.
No, it would be great if
This is the week.
Well, I'm pretty sure every week, you've added one. Like last week, you're one away, missing the Jamar Chase touchdown. I think it is
due.
It's due. It's time.
Also, Pat, you're a big game better. This is a big game. We got a good matchup
You're
here.
right. These games that stink. What do you expect from me? I don't know shit about them.
Come on.
These teams, though, you're right. These teams going into week 5, I feel like we know.
Yes.
We know now.
We do.
The Rams are going to get back because we don't know much about that team, but this is a mighty big game for that team because they potentially go 17-0. Then they lose at home against FaZe Clan, Kyler Murray, and the Cardinals. And Kyler Murray has an incredible video from that whole experience. But I feel like this is, Matthew Stafford's a great guy. Yeah.
Just lost.
You think Deshaun Jackson's just going to take one loss at home and then just be like, you know what, I'll mail it into next week? No way.
Not a chance.
Sean McVay, Jalen, Aaron Donald, are you kidding me?
Not a chance.
Cooper Kupp's going to run, spectacular routes? It doesn't matter how loud the crowd is.
No. Might have 4 touchdowns.
I mean, this is a lock in the Seattle Seahawks. Since at one time in the Super Bowl, they run the ball.
Oh, very well.
Down there.
It does worry me a little bit because I don't know if we know a whole lot about Seattle either.
And hopefully Chris Carson is not playing because I don't know if that's been announced yet.
Well, I mean, that is why we went with the other guy.
Yeah.
That was something very confident whenever the council was having its discussion.
There are a couple tweets that were definitely leaning toward him not playing.
Oh,
It just
no.
has not.
I would like to let everybody know that the council was giving false information.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the guy's hurt. I mean, give him a quick breath this week
Yeah, he
and
played
get
last
back
week.
next week.
Yeah, he played last week and still
If
scored.
it's one fucking touchdown away from hitting this thing again, last week it was $8.5 million we were going to win as a team. Okay?
Yeah.
Everybody got their $10 back if you opted in and went risk-free style, which is what we are suggesting in this particular case.
Right.
$10 becomes $156 right before Halloween.
Come on,
candy!
Halloween
And Thanksgiving.
Why are you guys
Christmas.
sprinkling all this negativity over the parlay?
Thank you,
We're
Nick.
just-
Fucking Nick, dude. Frank coming in here as a positive.
Hey, we're not sprinkling negativity because no matter what, you're not losing money.
Yeah,
okay?
if you opt in, risk-free, $10, get it back. If not, $156 and something and change or whatever. And then obviously, once we hit one of these, guess what?
Boom. Snowball
Bang,
effect.
Bang. Feed me.
Boom.
Pac-Man eating those things. Ay.
That's right.
That starts tonight, dude.
Tonight.
Hell yeah.
Tonight's tonight.
Carson hasn't practiced at all. Everyone who has a check mark next to their name is saying they'd be surprised if he was run out there on a short week with a neck injury.
Boom.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Pete Carroll cares about people's necks.
That's right.
He ain't going to run that guy out there.
Can't be running to Aaron Donald with a
Hey,
fucked
Pete.
up neck.
Hey, Pete, I'll send you this. All right, if you send that guy out there tonight. All right, make sure we feed Collins.
Yeah, Al Collins is a player. He scored last week, too. I mean, he's getting hot.
All right, let's get to the phones. Let's go to Bobby over there in Jersey.
Hell
Always
yeah.
a good phone call on the 5-hour energy phone line from Bob in Jersey. What's going on, dude?
Hey, boys. Knock, knock.
Who's there, dude?
Owen.
All right, who?
We know.
0-4.
Oh. Oh, no, we're not doing that, though, Bobby. We're not doing bad dad jokes on our show.
Can't do
Okay,
it.
get up, start doing that.
Yeah,
Call
right.
ESPN.
Okay,
Don't do
that is becoming something. Dan Orlovsky started it. Saw a good reaction on the internet from it. Now we're doing it every show. I love good dad joke. By the way, I laughed at Orlovsky's, the private tutor one. That was a big time laugh.
Yeah.
That one was pretty good.
Teacher farting.
Yeah, this one I heard today was how do you make a tissue dance? I put a little boogie in it.
Get it?
See, but they're doing that at the end of every show. I love it. I do enjoy it because I'm learning more. I wasn't around a lot of those, but can't have that happen over here. That's Get Up's thing. Okay, Bobby?
Mm-hmm.
And we appreciate Bobby calling from New Jersey. Every call is normally good, but we can't be doing that type of stuff.
I love Jersey.
I think he was going to bury the Jaguars, so he was going to get to it, I think. And I kind of cut him off a little bit early, but I just want to set the precedent. We can't be having bad dad jokes around here.
There's a chance he was
Stern
going to
but
bury
fair.
the Lions, too.
Huh?
Chance he was going to bury the Lions.
Oh, yeah, because they are also Owen.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Owen 4.
At least we're not a dumpster fire, though.
How do you make an Ohio State graduate dance? Stick a couple fingies up her booty hole.
Oh, jeez.
Tony.
Tony.
Christ, Tony.
Oh, my God.
What are you doing? The hell?
Oh, my.
She
Can't
went to
say that.
Nebraska, Tony.
Dude, that was unbelievable. She went to Nebraska.
She did not get her name.
Yeah.
I thought she went to
Her last
Nebraska.
name.
She's an Ohio State grad.
Come on.
I had no clue this whole time.
What is happening right
She
now?
was a Cornhusker, not a Buckeye. You thought her name was insert name of the first syllable in Nebraska.
Yeah.
What? All right, let's go to the phone.
She was far from home.
Let's go to Ryan in China.
What?
Here we go.
No way.
Here Ryan in China, what's going on?
Hey, Pat, I appreciate your call. I'd like to give a shout out to any Gandolfo in the U.S. Also, I appreciate your show, and I would also like to ask, is there any news on Jalen Smith and the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of news on Jalen Smith and Green Bay Packers. Can we talk about you, Ryan? What are you doing in China? We appreciate you listening. Are we big over there? Do we have a lot of fans in China over there?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm upping up the big of your show in China. From Guangzhou to Beijing to Shanghai to anywhere else.
What do you do over there?
I appreciate the boys.
What do you do over there,
I
Ryan?
work in media. I run a magazine.
Okay, Ryan, we appreciate
Go.
you, man. Jalen Smith's Green Bay Packer, by the way.
Yeah.
And also Rasul Douglas.
Yes.
Of the West Virginia Mountaineer State.
Yeah, 2 huge acquisitions.
Massive.
Yesterday, the Green Bay Packers in the morning thought they were getting Stephon Gilmore. They end up with Jalen Smith, fresh out of the Dallas Cowboys roster, and Russell Douglas from the practice squad of the Arizona Cardinals.
That's right.
Team got better this week. Well, our show, probably not. Hour 2 is in 6 minutes. Cheers.
That happens, you know, sometimes wide receiver guys.
Ooh. Bowling, you hurt yourself? I mean, this is city right now, dude.
Oh, that was good. They were all net.
TJ definitely tripped you, by the way.
No doubt. No doubt.
How do you feel about
I was questioning myself actually a little bit because I stepped in the pocket to Cam got a good rush kind of off my left, and A.J. Dillon was running an angle route and was wide open for a touchdown. I really stepped up to move away from Cam and to throw it to him. When I was about to throw it to him, I felt, getting tripped. And, it was one of those awful things. The only thing worse than getting tripped like that is getting stepped on, like trying to get out from center and then you're falling down. It looks really awful. It looks super unathletic. This one looks slightly more athletic, not much. But what got me was I got up and I immediately went to the white cap and was like, that's got to be a trip, right? And he was like, I don't know. I'm not sure. And so when he was hemming and hawing, he throws the penalty, and then I'm not sure if he's talking to New York or upstairs a replay. But the defensive guys start saying, no, you tripped yourself. You tripped yourself. Joe Hayden was saying that. Sutton was saying that. Edmonds was saying that. And for a second, it started creeping in and go, maybe I did. Maybe I did trip myself. And then when he picked up the flag, they still hadn't shown the replay yet, on the Jumbotron. He picked the flag up, and I was thinking, man, is that what it's come to? I'm in my 17th year, and I'm tripping myself, believing that I actually got tripped. And it was a real low moment for me. A tough couple seconds kind of turning, walking back to the huddle. Then I heard the boos raining down, and I looked up, and I was like, okay.
Thank God. Thank God.
It was such a rush of just joy and relief that I wasn't that unathletic guy yet who trips himself and thinks somebody tripped him.
I was told by Del Curry, Scottie Pippen struggles on a golf course, right?
Right.
I was told at that thing that I'm going against Scottie Pippen the next day, match play, heads up, one-on-one Scottie Pippen. So we decide, okay, we could probably have a couple drinks, stay at the casino a little bit longer than we should.
Representing the NFL out of the Shoeless Golf Club of America, Pat McAfee. His opponent, representing the NBA, Scottie Pippen.
You know what I mean? This guy's got 6 rings. Yeah. He's a fucking Hall of Famer. But today he's going to play against me. And then I start seeing Scottie hit some shots that are just starting to come together. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I think I was lied to.
We were lied to yesterday. We were told Scottie Pippen was a terrible golfer. Bro, he's Scottie fucking Pippen.
Going in the back 9, I think I was down 1. We were battling. But I started making putts. And Scottie Pippen went ahead and got real hot. I mean, real fucking hot. I was down 3 with 7 left. And I looked right in the camera, and I go,
so we're down 3 with 7 holes left. Scottie Pippen's about to get this work.
Scottie Pippen from 190 yards out just fucking dunks it. Fucking boom, bang, and then walks up to the green, gets the ball, camera's on him, and he goes, Pippen ain't easy.
Kidding me? All right, down 4 with 6 left after Scottie Pippen just chips in from fucking 400 yards out.
I was fucking demoralized.
Pippen ain't easy.
By the way, best he's ever performed at golf, because I'm around, better teammate than Jordan.
Yep.
People forget. Oh, yeah, I told Del, I was like, Del, what the fuck you lying to me? He was like, well, I saw it yesterday. He was not great. And Greg Anthony told me, and I was like, Del, he buried me, Del Curry. He buried me. He was, hey, Pippen ain't easy.
Yes, baby, it's time to celebrate.
Talking about a shotgun of beer after he had beat me. Obviously, I like teach him how to do it.
Yeah, put a hole in there. It might spread a little bit, so.
Leave
Yeah, so you're going to go here, and then you're going to open and flip up. Does that make sense? Congrats on winning the NBA a couple of times, blah, 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 blah. And being an incredible golfer. Thanks, Paul. Cheers. Appreciate it. Hey. 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 Hey.
Damn.
Okay,
That's the
Scotty.
best Bud Light I ever had.
Hey, there's no stuck here.
You right.
That's a touchdown. Species not found. We just touchdown. They don't rush at me.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is risk-free same-game parlay Thursday Night Football Thursday, October 7th, and hour 2 of this sports show begins right now. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. Shout out to you for listening or watching wherever the hell you may be. In the first hour, we talked to Justin Tucker. We chit-chatted about our same-game parlay that is going to win so much money from FanDuel tonight while watching this NFC West Thursday Night Football Clash of the Titans. Rams traveling to Seattle to play against Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll, and the Seahawks, who have been an interesting team to watch. Obviously, this past offseason, it was what it was. We do not need to bring that back up.
No point.
Because we are Russell Wilson fans now.
Oh, yeah.
After watching Russell Wilson on Monday Night Manning, I actually said I will now be betting on this particular guy moving forward.
Sure.
Then they started losing games.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they get the win back this past weekend. What are they going to be, especially playing against a team like the Rams, who are stacked, packed, maxed out.
Yeah.
Right.
Salary cap wise.
Truly.
They got a lot of superstars. I mean,
yeah.
they absolutely are top to bottom a blockbuster squad in Los Angeles. Whenever they play, it is a festival. Everybody comes out to watch them. I'm not saying they're titled the greatest show on turf just yet, but Matthew Stafford, the weapons they have, the defensive studs that they have, Johnny Hekker, bomb and ball. I mean, that team is built to try to win this year. So this would be a game that they would have to win in doing so. They just lost last week at home against the Cardinals, a division rival, already 0-1 or whatever in the division. Now what will they do going to Seattle on Thursday Night Football with Seattle wearing the neon greens? Joining me, just like every other hour, at the toxic table at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor. Last night, obviously, NFC Baseball Mega Bowl happened.
Right, yeah.
We talked enough about that in the first hour because old cuz Joey Taylor last night, bottom of the ninth. Chris Taylor, bottom of the ninth, hits that homer and propels the Dodgers past the Mega Bowl into the actual dance.
That's right.
Second best record in the MLB this year. Almost got knocked out in a one-game thing in which they pulled their stud in after 4 1/3.
Yes.
Anyways, but tonight's game, Thursday Night Football, a couple snoozers. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, granted, the game was good in the end.
Got good late.
Got good late, but the buildup is like, okay, these teams, who cares?
Yeah.
Tonight, two teams that we all expect to potentially go on a run, especially out of that NFC West, that might have 3 teams that make the playoffs if they can't cannibalize each other enough to kind of make this whole thing happen. Big time game on Thursday Night Football. Is this Matthew Stafford bouncing back in your eyes, Ty? Or is this Russell Wilson continuing to make primetime magic? His stats in primetime are like 24-8-1 or something like that, or 24-8-1. Is that what it was? I forget exactly what it was. Really really good. And then Matthew Stafford's like 7-14. Now, that's because a lot of those games, I assume Thanksgiving maybe, and some other games.
Sunday night games, Monday night games against the Packers.
Thursday night games, he was the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
So now, who knows what you can say about those stats. How do you see tonight going, Tush, man?
I don't know. Like you said, it is tough to bet against Russell Wilson at home, especially when he's a dog. I don't know. I just want to see a lot of points because, like you were saying, like it has a Sunday night football feel.
It does.
This feels like a
this
massive
is a Sunday game on a Thursday.
It really is. And, I mean, you don't want to say that if, like, Seattle loses tonight, they're screwed in the long run. But with how competitive that division is, like, you could argue, like, they have to win this game tonight. Like, the Rams, if they lose one more, I mean, we think they'll be there. Like, we really still don't know what Seattle is. Like, they've looked good a couple weeks. They've looked bad a couple weeks. But this isn't the division where you can, like, lose these divisional games and get stacked up with how good the Cardinals have looked. I mean, the Niners, who knows without Jimmy G, but then the Rams, people calling them the Super Bowl favorites as well.
Yeah, and it's one of those games where, although we're only in week 5, I think there's going to be some statements made tonight.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like the Belichick-Brady Bowl, it had build-up because it was going to be talked about forever.
Yeah.
And a lot of the build-up involved thinking that the Buccaneers are just going to blow out the Patriots. So much so that I think Patriots fans even might have expected it because of the roster disparity and also all the storylines potentially going into it and the things that were being said by people that have been debunked by the actual people that things were being said about. But I think that build-up was, hey, the conversation is going to be one that is held forever about this game.
Yes.
And it came down to thrilling fashion, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
This game tonight, I think people are thinking, and the build-up is, hey, these are two really fucking good teams.
Yeah.
These are one of the two teams who might go in the NFC here.
Right.
Now, granted, you got to get past the Bucs, which the Rams were able to do a couple weeks ago, but they would have to do it when it matters or whatever. But these two teams tonight, I'm excited about. I think we're going to see a show. I think tonight is going to be a show. I'm betting on it actually with my same game parlay. Overs for Russell Wilson and Matthew Stafford. I think the Rams get a win. I think Collins will run one in, and I think Cooper Kupp will score because that seems to be the favorite target of every quarterback that has Cooper Kupp on the team. Cooper Kupp is the favorite target for whatever reason, whether it's because he's an incredible route runner or a lunch pail type of guy, first one in, last one out type of guy, a hard hat guy, coach's son guy. I mean, all those things potentially why, but also might be because that dude's a fucking stud when he's healthy.
Yeah.
Excited to watch tonight at Tone Diggs. What's all the money doing? Is there a lot of dancing with us or against us in the money world of the game?
85% of the money is on the Rams.
Fuck.
Um,
No, it's because us.
yeah.
It's because us,
And,
obviously.
70% of the money's on the over. It's gone from 48 to 54, so that's moved 6 points. I do think the offenses are going to have their way tonight. It's just what defense can possibly make a few plays, and the Rams have the better getting to the quarterback D-line. So maybe it's the Rams that make some plays, get off the field a little bit.
Yeah, and Jalen floating around. Russell Wilson was able to display his incredible intelligence on Monday Night Manning that first week in the fourth quarter when he and Peyton, I don't want to say they were jousting, but almost they were having a conversation amongst each other about what they're looking for. Now, Eli was also there, and I assume Eli knows it as well, but I think there's different levels to the amount of how much you can break down a defense. Russell Wilson, whether he wanted to or not, what I got out of that conversation with the Mannings was, this motherfucker is high football IQ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we have chose not to look at that because I think a lot of the plays you see him running around and just kind of extending and making things up and everything like that. So to listen to him speak in a way that I'm not saying I know shit about fuck because I don't know shit about fuck. But I just think whenever I start hearing that stuff, my respect level for him grew mightily, I think, after listening to him chat about football. And I assume that's potentially what the Gruden football quarterback camp was supposed to be for Russell Wilson. None of us watched it, though.
No.
We should have watched it. We watched Monday Night Manning. That's on us.
right.
Russell Wilson's a stud, as is Matthew Stafford. Joining us now to wrap up all the weekly stories and tell us about what could potentially be going on tonight that might make our same game parlay look good or maybe make our same game parlay look not as good.
Okay.
Joining us now, former host of Rap Sheet and Friends. That show was canceled by the NFL Network. We are not happy about that. You will find this man as a senior insider for the NFL Network and NFL.com in the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends host, ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport.
Hey!
What's going
What's
on?
up?
Hey, you got your TV stuff on, huh? You in between hits?
Yeah, just did a little Jalen Smith, did a little Baker Mayfield in his partially torn labrum. Did a little watch Pelissero say, I don't know, I wasn't honestly listening. And now I'm back talking to you guys, which, you know.
You know, that's the thing. We had Pelissero on and a lot of times, and we enjoy him as a human, but we did listen to him, and he is literally just an NFL memo machine. You know, like the way his words. So if you were to listen, you've probably already read everything. He has this incredible ability to recite an entire memo and lay it out completely from the NFL. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's great at getting memos before anyone else. He's great at explaining them to people. I am not good at reading, so when I get a memo, I try to scroll down to like the headline and then maybe see if there's any bold words or maybe some italics.
Smart. Headlines.
But when I get memos, so like you'll see sometimes I'll get memos first, which is obviously what we all want. And I'll just have like a big headline on it because I can't read all of that. It's just you read it, you know?
Yeah. And then you screenshot the memo and send it all out there completely.
Right.
And I think Pelissero...
Yeah, you guys read it yourself.
Yeah, hey, listen, you take this for what you think it is. Pelissero saying this is what it actually is. Yeah. I am an advanced reader. He is unbelievable at that. We appreciate your entire team. Let's talk about some things. Even though you're a bad reader, you must have read the Baker Mayfield Instagram post. What's that all about? Is that because he's playing hurt? Are people saying he's not playing good? Is it because the rush game's so good? I didn't understand where that was coming from Baker.
Hold on, let me see it.
Yeah, Baker said, people seem to forget how I got here. Nothing was given. Everything earned. Ups and downs. Came out stronger and better every time. God blessed me with the mental and physical strength to not only make it through adversity, but to also grow through those trials that nobody else could handle. Nobody else.
Oh, yeah.
I'll always be striving to get better, which I will. I might as well read it to the people now at this point.
Oh, okay,
which I will continue to have that mindset. Winning is the priority for me, always has been and always will be. That's why I was brought to Cleveland, to change the narrative and impact others along the way. That being said, we have a great group. I have their back and they have mine. I'm going to battle for these guys every single week. On to the next challenge. Is that about the torn labrum, or has there been some chatter about Baker? What's this all about?
You know, I think it's a couple things, and I don't want to put thoughts in Baker's head, but let me just put some thoughts in Baker's head. I think he's been a little embattled. I mean, they've been winning, and I think the Browns are a really good team, but he didn't play great last week. And like, if you watched him, and this is why I think I ended up kind of reporting his injury, because you watch him and he just doesn't look right. And like some throws he's missing, you're kind of like, man, I've seen you make that throw for like 2 years. So I kind of started digging into it, like something is clearly wrong. Like he's definitely more injured than I thought. And it turns out it is a partially torn labrum in his left side, which is a significant injury, which is not going to get better this season, which is going to be harnessed. So like he'll be able to play, and he hasn't missed any practice steps, but I can't pretend that he's perfect. And so I think this is him responding to everyone and being like, I get it, I see it, I'm going to play better, I want our team to win, so everyone kind of ease off a little bit.
Okay, dope. And I remember that because it was dislocated, right? And then he popped it back in. Probably in that case, he had a partially torn labrum. I remember hearing the mic'd up. I remember hearing the mic'd up of him walking around. He's thrown for 300 yards this season already. Obviously, that one pass to Odell is getting run on TV time and time again, because that was a bad miss. And you would assume that Odell Beckham, as a teammate, would be upset potentially that he get missed, and especially after running an incredible route or whatever it is. That's what everybody's leading to. But it's nice to hear from Baker, I guess, saying, I am hurt, I'm going to battle through this thing. And good on you, doing good reporting, by the way. Looking out for the player. That's what you're doing right there. Now, let's talk about a situation that isn't looking out for the player at all. What's the deal with this? Hey, we're cutting this guy. But not till 4 o'clock. If anybody wants to make some final offers for this guy, that guy going from potentially picking where he goes next, like the Green Bay Packers allegedly is where he wanted to go. Who knows if any of that was legitimized or not, to getting traded to the Panthers for a 6th-round pick. Stephon, I'm sure, happy to be going back to Carolina, going to get a bigger deal, and that was probably a part of the whole trade agreement or whatever was expected. But why is that happening where announcements of people being released are happening and then they're getting traded afterwards? That seems like that's fucking the player. Am I wrong?
A couple of things. First of all, I don't believe a new deal is going to be part of this. I mean, if he plays well in Carolina, which...
A 6th-round pick was all it took to just get the guy for the rest of the year?
Not a 6th-round pick. A future 6th-round pick. So the actual value is the 7th-round pick, which is less. So, yes, no new deal. No new deal coming in Carolina as far as I know. He's going to play in a couple weeks. He'll be healthy. He is going to move into his house. You know, like a lot of players have houses in places where they are from, so they have like a home base basically. His home base is 3 houses down from Scott Fitterer, the GM of the Panthers, so they can go hang out and smoke some meat and talk about stuff. Like I think that's kind of cool.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, this is kind of a new thing, and I've been in the middle of it at various times where you report something, a guy's informed of his release, and you say, okay, well that's that. He'll be out done at 4, and then you start getting calls from teams, and they're like, hang on, just so you know, he hasn't actually been released. Somebody may trade for him, and you had to be like, oh wait, Belichick put out a statement saying goodbye, and then everybody was like, okay, but it's not till 4. Maybe I'll just jump in and trade for him. So it's kind of a technique teams have used.
Why is it not till 4? I thought it was.
It doesn't screw the play.
Hey, why is it not till 4? I thought it was just processing the papers. It's over there. It's over.
No, once those transactions aren't official till 4. So like we've actually seen it where so Gunnar Olszewski, the All-Pro returner for the Patriots, was literally informed he was cut, and then called back and like, actually you're not cut. We're going to trade someone else and give you a roster spot, and then he became an All-Pro. Like that happens because it's not official until a certain time.
That's insane. I know that's when rosters are being created, I think, right? The middle of the season, I thought would just be differently. I thought it was a procedural thing because it seems like, I don't know. And it's great that Stefan's getting to go back home and everything like that, but the initial reports was he was going to go to the Packers, and allegedly, were any of that, was that ever considered from your reporting and your sources?
Yes, I know he liked the Panthers a lot, and they have maintained interest in him. Like they were one of the teams that discussed maybe trading for him earlier. I know the Packers he liked a lot. The problem is, it's a $7 million salary. It hits the cap all at once. The Packers just really didn't have room. So
everybody has room.
They could have signed him as a free agent because then they maybe would have given him a 2-year deal and changed massage the cap a little bit, whatever. But just as a trade with no alteration to the contract, they wanted it. He wanted it. But I think he wanted the Panthers too, and he seems very happy.
Okay, good news. He will not be able to come back until after the physically unable to perform list designation of 6 weeks is finished because they traded his contract as opposed to creating a new one. So he won't be back until week 7, which is 2 weeks from now. Let's talk about tonight's game. What are you hearing? How do we feel? Is this healthy rosters going into Seattle? The boys are going to have questions, obviously, but I just need to know if my same game parlay sounds as good now as it does after you give us a little breakdown on what people are expecting to do this evening.
Okay, so one of the bigger questions is Chris Carson, is he going to play? And that was I knew something was not quite right. I didn't know what it was till Pete Carroll said yesterday he's got a neck issue. It was described to me as more of like a stiff neck, and some people close to him believe he's going to play. Not 100% sure. It might be like a pregame workout type deal, but I think there's some optimism that Carson does get out there, so that's good.
Is it good? Yeah, I mean, the guy's life.
For your parlay, is it bad?
Yeah, I got the backup running back actually to score a touchdown in the parlay because we heard from reporting, I think you included, that a bad neck is probably going to lead somebody out to be on a short week. What does Pete Carroll didn't care about his players or what?
Well, the backup is probably going to play also. So I don't know. I don't know about your parlay or anything. That's not really my whatever. Oh God.
This is what it's potentially going to look like when you play a guy with a bad neck. Just remember that. That's what happened tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
Give Collins the rock, dude.
Yeah.
I can't not think of was it Bill Murray in Wild Things? You've seen Wild Things, right?
Classic.
I've not known.
Wow.
Anyway, have your friends tell you about it. There's a couple of great scenes in there
that's Major League.
Charlie Sheen.
Anyways, other than the stiff neck potentially playing tonight and being terribly unhealthy on a short week like that, let's give Collins the rock. And then once he scores, let's see how the neck's doing or whatever. That's personal reasons. That is a great piece of information, though. If you're in the fantasy world or a Seahawks fan, what else are you thinking, Ian?
I am really curious what the Seahawks offense looks like because we've seen them throw it a bunch. We've seen them kind of reel back. Last week didn't look great. And I think the early optimism, of letting Russ cook, has kind of waned a little bit. You got a national spotlight, but you got Jalen Ramsey, who is, probably the best corner in the NFL right now, playing a bunch of positions, moving around, just making a bunch of plays. Like, how do they attack the Rams tonight? And do they throw it 40 times like they did early? Like, these are the things I'm sort of watching. And then for Stafford, I would say it's sort of similar. Like, he started so hot. How big of a game, like how big of an announcement does he make to our national audience? It's going to be a fun one tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's going to be real success tonight on both sides of the ball. And I bet on Matthew Stafford over 300, Russell Wilson over 250, Cooper Kupp scoring a tud, Collins scoring a tud in the Rams' money line, because they're going to have to answer. This is a team that's going to have to answer. They just lost. You know what I mean? They're going to have, this is the first real test of this newly formed team with this newly formed swag. The Matthew Stafford gritty swag coming in from Detroit, the absolute ball slinger superstar. It's a good one. You guys haven't had a lot of games that you've been able to hype up because the two teams potentially could go on a run this season. These two teams could potentially go on a run this season. I think that's big news for Thursday Night Football. What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be talking on TV all day? Are you in the kickoff show, or are you reporting live?
I will be on until I think 5, and I don't think this week I'm in the kickoff show, which...
Jeez.
Yeah,
what the heck's that about? First Rap Sheet and Friends. Now you're off the kickoff show. What's the deal? Hey.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, I mean, different color neck brace.
Yeah, way different.
I mean, it is a person in a neck brace, so I understand that. And
Fair.
Great reference point from the Rap Sheet and Friends. Go ahead, Ty. Jeez.
Rap Sheet, have you heard anything about Jair Alexander? Matt LaFleur said that if he has to have surgery, he's going to be out for the year, but they've been seeking multiple opinions. I doubt he's going to play Sunday, but have you heard how long he could be out? And is Jalen Smith going to start on Sunday?
The Jair Alexander thing is not good. I don't know the firm diagnosis, and it's Thursday now. The injury happened on Sunday, and usually when a player seeks multiple opinions, it's because there are opinions in there that they do not like. It is a serious injury. I think it is possible that he ends up only missing a couple weeks. Okay. But as you know, LaFleur has been pretty clear. Like, season ending is also on the table, so he's not going to play this week.
Jeez.
And you hope it's just a couple weeks. I mean, he is a very, very good player, and a guy who might get a contract extension. Probably will at the end of the. I mean, he is awesome, and this would hurt for the Packers. As far as Jalen, it doesn't seem like if he plays this week, I think it'll be real limited. Like, he's not going to practice today, coming on a Friday. Like, timing doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't know the playbook would be one. So, I would say probably next week is a better bet for Jalen Smith.
Speaking of the playbook situation, Josh Gordon, Sunday night for the Chiefs, back in action, allegedly part of the active roster. Is that a package for him? Is he just kind of taking to the concepts? What are they thinking, you think, for Josh Gordon production out there?
Yeah, he knows the concepts because when his first year in Cleveland, when Brad Childress was there, it's the same. It's not the same system, but it's very similar, and the language is the same. So he's been there. He will have been there 2 weeks. They are pretty confident. It's going to be a package. It's not like I'm not going to pretend a guy knows the whole playbook being there 2 weeks, but I would expect, I don't know how many plays, but a handful. And if he's out there, they're going to target him. Like, there's going to be a Josh Gordon moment where everyone is like, "Oh, of course, wow!" Like,
yeah, everybody's
he's 230 pounds.
Yeah,
his body fat's at like 8. Like, he's a beast.
And of course, the Chiefs get him. Of course,
obviously.
that's what.
And everyone could have got him.
Exactly. Yeah, that seems to be happening a lot lately. It seems to be happening around the NFL a lot, especially as salary caps have become fake. And they're going to be worth $200, $300 million in the foreseeable future because of digital money and sports gambling. So they can just kick contracts down the road. And it doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Rap Sheet. Is Jimmy G going to play on Sunday, or is this calf strain a little more serious? He's going to miss some time.
It is not actually a calf strain. It's a very weird injury. He got kneed in the back of the calf by an opponent, and it's like a bad contusion. And so, if it's a calf strain, you could be like, all right, he's out 2 to 4 weeks, and these you could put a number on it because it's a bad bruise. It kind of feels like they're having trouble like ascertaining like how bad it actually is. So I know good word. I know he could practice today. Thank you. No, he could practice today. I've not heard yet if he will. I'd say if he doesn't practice today, he's probably out. If he does practice, then he's got a shot. And it's interesting because, like, it doesn't really matter much to me if the 49ers win or lose, but as a curiosity standpoint, that would kind of like a little bit to see Trey Lance, just because you'd like to see some of these rookies out here. So if he doesn't go, it will make for some must-see viewing for the 49ers.
It sounded like Kyle Shanahan wasn't exactly thrilled about potential Trey Lance in the game right now, but this is exactly why they traded up.
Yeah, I felt that too.
Yeah, okay, I'm happy you felt it as well, because this is why the 49ers traded. Yeah, okay. Good deal, dude. I got you on top, by the way, though. I did Alpha. Yeah,
God, there's nothing worse than when you're like being introduced to someone and they give you like the full my hand is up here, your hand is
No, you got to pat him.
Get out of here.
No, you got to pat him. Listen, this is what happens growing up in an Italian city. Okay, so that happens. They get you. No, motherfucker. Okay, it's like on the baseball bat. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. And then, by the way, they'll probably, I mean, it'll be a full stack. Yeah. Those are moments you got to win. You have to win those moments early if you want to do that entire thing. But anyways, isn't this why they drafted Trey Lance and gave away a part of the future? Because whenever Jimmy got hurt, their team was bad. That's kind of what Lynch and Shanahan said. He said, when Jimmy's in, we play good, we win. But he's been hurt 2 out of the 3 years we got him here. That's why we had to come get another quarterback. And then whenever I heard Shanahan speak the same way you did, I was fascinated. I was like, is this too early? Does he not know the offense yet? What does Shanahan think? Or maybe it was just he was miserable because they lost, and that's why he sounded the way he sounded.
Well, I think, you heard a similar vibe from the Bears for Justin Fields, and obviously the first game for Fields was a struggle.
Tough.
I think there obviously is some nerves about putting a rookie out there who's not quite ready, and it looks bad, and he gets hit, and I like Fields, I'm sure doesn't care and probably has already forgotten it, and he's very mentally ready, I would say. But you don't know that everyone's going to be like that. So if Lance is not quite ready and they haven't completely retooled things for him and he goes out and struggles, I think people are a little nervous what happens next. I think that's why you kind of hear the trepidation in some coaches' voices.
COVID Cowboy Tone Diggs.
Hey, Ian, so Ben had a pec injury before, and now he's wobbling out to his press conferences with a hip, I believe. And Mike Tomlin said earlier this week, the only thing flexible about Ben's game, or not flexible about Ben's game, is his mobility. Is he just sitting duck back there right now? Is he going to continue to play? What's going on there?
I'm not sure if this is good news or bad news, but weirdly it felt to me like a little bit of good news. Like if he's got a hip injury, this could get better, right? Like he could do treatment, he could work on it.
He said it's black and blue. It's disgusting. We're all going through stuff, but if you were to see this, you would say, hey, that's fucking worse than what I'm going through. It's basically what he said. He said that thing is nasty.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I will definitely take his word for it. But it would explain things if he was even more injured than we thought, because the other answer is he's just kind of getting older and going the wrong way. And I think the Steelers are still in on him. They're still believing him. They're still confident. But, last week was rough, man. And the offense has struggled.
You said Ben Roethlisberger stinks? Is that what you just said?
Ian, you work for the NFL.
You can't say that. You work at the NFL Network. You cannot say.
I don't believe I said that at all.
You did. A
little bit. You insinuated.
A little bit. Unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, you did.
A little bit. He did say he was happy to hear that he was injured, not that he just stunk, though. It's kind of what he said. So you were starting to lean into maybe he is not just playing good football. Then whenever you heard, okay, he is hurt in the pec, in the hip, it was like, okay, there had to be something, just like you did for Baker Mayfield. That's why you are such a great insider, and we appreciate every time you come by. Last question here. I have to ask about it because it does feel like this is probably going to be the last time we get to chat about it. I assume this is going to be put in the rear view. The Urban Chop House situation with Urban Meyer. How is that thing going? Have all the reports that we've heard this week been true? Have they been kind of blown out of proportion? Is he getting, I don't want to say, is there a chance he doesn't make it the rest of the season? Was that conversation happening? How do you feel about that whole situation as a whole? And this is something we have echoed, and I assume you have asked other coaches around the NFL as well, once seeing us all talk about it. A head coach not flying with his team was absurd. I've never heard that before I've never heard of that before in my life, ever. And I think a lot of people, that was where the big question was, plus with them failing, and then obviously the embarrassing moment. What's going on down there? What is it?
I've never heard of it where a coach didn't fly home with the team. Maybe it's happened. It's not always, we probably wouldn't have known had we not seen all the other stuff in the video.
Bingo.
So maybe it's happened, but I just can't, I've never heard of it. I did not, from what I know, I do not believe his job was in jeopardy. I know there were some very serious conversations with owner Shad Khan. There were several of them on that day, which was a Tuesday, right? I think that was a Tuesday. And so some harsh words, a very public rebuke in the form of a statement, which, again, like, I've never really seen that before. Like, a owner coming out and saying the coach has to re-earn our trust. That was all new. I just don't believe his job was in jeopardy. And we'll see where it goes from here. Like, it's, he was the guy who was supposed to come in and fix it. They're 0-4, and then we've spent more time talking about what's the name of the place?
Urban's Chop House. It was originally reported on the internet that it was Urban's Pint Bar or his whiskey club, but this is actually the Urban Chop House, allegedly, from what I've been told.
Are there multiple?
Oh, yeah. Urban's a commercial real estate restaurateur around there. He's a businessman. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm nope. Not going to say anything.
What do you know? What do you know?
But anyway,
I
I would say, aside from the report that made it seem like he was about to lose his job, I think it's all been in the proper context because, like, this is real. And I know people say, like, it's optics, but leadership is optics. Like, this is the team watching the coach, right? So, I don't think it's over by any means at all. But I would imagine they got to start winning some football games.
Yeah, and then there was reports that he was laughed out of position group rooms, and then,
the breakdown yesterday.
Yeah, the breakdown was grind on 3, 1, 2, 3, grind. And those are things.
I did see that.
Yeah, those are things, by the way, that can be chosen, and I think a massive part of the healing process is we have to point out the obvious here. We have to point out the obvious. Now, have I heard grind before as a call down? I don't think I have. I've heard work before, and team and family and Colts, and grind on 3. 1, 2, 3, grind. I would like to hear what the speech was before it got to grind, because it's always like, hey, every day we get out here, we got to work. Every day we get out here, no matter what our record is, we got to get better. Hey, we got to grind out here. Grind on 3. 1, 2, 3, grind. Whatever the speech was before the grind was decided, I would have liked to hear, but I don't think we could from the video that I caught. But it is always awesome chatting with you. Are we missing anything? You're gonna break news probably right now?
Oh shit.
No. I mean, as far as I know, I gave you everything I got. The Baker stuff was the only thing that I was thinking about saving it for right after the show. But I decided to put it out this morning just because.
Yeah, but we also educated you on his post, it seemed like.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't follow him. Maybe I should start following him.
Fucking biased journalism.
I don't follow a lot of people. I keep the list slim.
Hey, by the way, you followed me within the last couple weeks, and I have followed you back, but that was a very nice move of you. That was a very nice move of you. It was a standoff. It was this moment, by the way. It was this moment between us, and I appreciate you allowing me the pleasure of being followed by you. That's huge.
Yeah, you're welcome. I thought you deserved it. It's been a while. I obviously had to kind of earn the whatever, but I felt you deserved it, and I'm really happy to kind of give you that.
Well, I want to let you know, I didn't really view it as that real. I was just waiting for you to follow me, and then I was going to follow you back. I mean, there was times where I checked. This motherfucker's still not, huh? All right. Well,
the best one is when people will follow and unfollow, because then it pops up, and you're like, this guy wasn't oh, I see what he's doing. He's trying to get me to follow him, and I'll be like, nope.
Oh, you think people are out there courting you, unfollowing you, and following you? Hey, let me go ahead and get a little rap sheet out there. You think that's what they're doing to you?
Oh, interesting news from the Falcons, actually.
Here we go. This is what we live for.
Not for me. No, they announced Calvin Ridley will not make the trip due to a personal matter, so he's out on Sunday.
Wow. No, not good for the Falcons. I hope everything's okay, by the way. Hope everything's okay in his life. This is a big deal to miss a game. There's only 17 of them, especially for the Falcons this year, so this has to be a big deal, obviously. Hope everything's okay, but that's a 9:30 start. We're going to miss one of the superstars in that game that, doesn't have a lot of them.
Yeah, Jets. Who knows?
That's a bummer.
Together a little streak here.
Are you going to London? Why don't they send you to London?
I don't know. I've been once. It was amazing. London, from what I can tell, welcomed me. The food is kind of, whatever, but everything else is good. I would love to go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, senior NFL insider at NFL Network and NFL.com, host of the canceled show Rap Sheet and Friends, now the host of the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Rap Sheet.
Thank you, Rap Sheet. Okay, so Chris Carson's going out there with a broken fucking neck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that's about.
He's wrong.
What?
Rap Sheet's wrong. He ain't playing.
Well, league sources told us yesterday that Stephon Gilmore was going to the Packers. So we actually put that video out. And we said, hey, league sources are saying this. Then when that did not happen, people are dancing on us as if we were wrong.
No.
Like, oh, you're wrong. It's like, we are observing and fucking reporting. That's all we are doing around here. What's going on?
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Does his money come off, do you know, the Patriots right now? And why would they cut him? Why wouldn't, if he's not getting a new deal with the Panthers, why wouldn't he just stay and play with the Patriots for the rest of the year?
Yeah, was it beef? Was it beef with Stephon and Bill? Is that why whenever he said thanks, everybody...
No, they had to get Jamie Collins.
Oh.
Well,
they
yeah.
had to clear money out.
More important.
Yeah.
Oh,
$2
so
million.
it did, yeah.
Yeah, it had to clear
So
money.
it did come up with
6.
Oh, is it 6?
Yeah.
So Jamie
It was a lot.
Collins,
I thought
ipso
it was
facto,
like
greater than
5.5,
Stephon Gilmore.
maybe.
What's that?
So Jamie Collins, ipso facto, in Bill's eyes, better than Stephon Gilmore?
Well, see, this is a game you get into whenever they're making team cuts because it's different buckets. You know what I mean?
D-backs.
Yeah, whenever you have to cut a good corner because you need and I'm not saying this is the situation, but this is kind of the situation. This happens whenever teams are being made. You have so much depth at one position, but there's an injury at another position, and you're picking up somebody that is a worse football player than the player you were cutting, but it's because you need wide receivers or whatever. That happens during cuts. That seems to be what happened up there at Bill Belichick's dynasty, even though they're getting rid of a defensive player of the year. That's a wild move, I think, but everybody knows that maybe the long-term deal was also a huge part of this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just going off the Bucs game, held them to 19 points, and the D-backs played very well against what some consider to be like the best wide receiver core in the NFL, and unfortunately, they ran all over us because we were pretty thin at linebacker.
Yeah, you had 8, I think, dropping into coverage to us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, is that just the corners? I mean, okay. Stephon Gilmore can't fit in there whenever you guys have 8
No,
people play?
not at all. I'm just saying I think we need more help on our run defense.
Oh,
than
that's
our
why
pass
Jamie
defense.
Collins is coming in.
Yes.
I thought you were trying to say that losing Stephon Gilmore is not that big of a deal.
No. The bucket is what I
The
was
bucket is
yeah.
the exact point.
Yes.
Okay, I apologize for mishearing you there because I never feel like it's good to get rid of a best player.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, hey, let's get our best players and get them out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't have to run a team that is, okay, yeah, we'll put the fucking great third string corner we have and we'll have him run go routes, Pat. Is that what you fucking want us to do? We have to cut a guy that's good at special teams to pick up somebody that's terrible at their position and at special teams, but they can at least fare at the position,
Right.
which is what we need right now. There's a lot of those conversations, by the way, when teams are being made.
Yeah, the biggest thing I saw was that they were very comfortable with having him, wait until week 7 to play, but they weren't going to give him an extension until they actually saw, like, okay, you're not hurt anymore.
And he went down to Carolina, and there's no extension needed. Hey, just play out this contract. We'll figure it out later. I got a lot of money, by the way. I pay a lot of people, but you need to prove it. I'll also get rid of you if you don't.
Yep.
That's what old $15.8 billion Peppers was saying down there. That guy's got all the money in the world. He's the richest owner in the NFL until old Bezos probably slides through.
Right.
Or whatever the case. Another billionaire comes out of the woodwork that was created over the last 18 months. How'd that happen? Nobody knows. We'll talk about that probably 10 to 15 years from now. But somebody will come with more money, assume at some point. He's the big bank. And big bank takes little bank. That is just how life has always been.
Yep.
And he's doing that right now.
Yes, he is.
Big time.
And Matt Rule knows, like, okay, literally, this guy is okay with eating salaries. He's okay with moves. He's okay with doing whatever because he wants to build a winner right now. Because when he goes and meets with his other rich friends, he'd like to say, my fucking team's good.
How about those Panthers?
How about those Panthers? Just like how Mara said he was sick of explaining why the Giants are bad to his little billionaire friends.
Right.
That's why they invested so much money this offseason. Turns out, that one might take a little bit. We're back in 4 minutes on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Can't wait to chat with you. 1-833-4-McAfee on this beautiful risk-free same-game parlay. Thursday Night Football Thursday. Big game tonight.
Yeah.
Rams and Seahawks. Big risk-free same-game parlay. Got to opt in. It's on FanDuel Sportsbook. Let's take millions. Millions of dollars from FanDuel tonight. $10 will get you 150-some bucks.
Damn.
Risk-free. That's a hell of an outcome. That's a hell of a payday. We were one leg away last week. This week, we hit this thing, and we dance on the goddamn graves of FanDuel. In 4 minutes, 1-833-4-McAfee. You're on the phone lines. Can't wait to hear from you. Cheers. University of Cincinnati, the Bearcats, dude. Oh, this is what they send probably to the NFL in Cincinnati. Let's go. Let's go, bro. Full kit. Hey, we got a jacket in here? Sleeveless?
No.
No, short sleeve. Hey, thank you, Cincinnati. This is fucking awesome. Oh, yeah, look.
Oh, that's sick.
Hey, shout out Cincy, dude. Hey, let's go Bearcats, huh? Let's go win this whole thing. Nobody expects us to. Got in the Big 12 a couple years, obviously that'll be a different time, but right now we're in a Power 5 school. We're gonna fucking go just like we won in Notre Dame and beat the fuck out of Brian Kelly. That's sweet.
Oh, jeez.
I got stickers now, so literally I'm everywhere, says Mcmanus. Cincinnati's about to be everywhere, dude. All right. Today's event is me versus a Carolina Reaper pepper. A pepper that has what?
2.2 million Scoville on average. I think it's pretty much the hottest pepper in the world.
In comparison, a jalapeno is
6,000 Scoville.
For every second after it is in my mouth, I don't grab this milk. We'll give $25 to a random person in the comment section right now. $4,500 feels like a good amount to give away, though. And that'd be 3 minutes. This is going to be a long 3 minutes.
That's redder than devil's dick. That crunch. How we doing so far? Doesn't look too bad.
I should have taken a drink of water beforehand, though, because I think I had a dry mouth. I had a little cotton mouth. Oh.
Oh, okay. Once the hiccups start, I think you're just about done for. What's your biggest regret in life? Do you have 2 more minutes in you?
I think it's just starting to hit like the peak. The curve on this thing is just starting to go up.
You are handling this much better than Bill did, though. You are, yeah. Billy Tubes was puking 10 seconds in. 130. 130.
It's burning my esophagus.
Do you feel like you're going to puke?
Oh, I do.
And that milk looks ice cold, too.
No!
Beer that broke my heart. Hey, one more.
I'm getting lightheaded now.
Yep. Now we go. Now we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dance with me.
How you feel now?
A little bit better, but not great. Oh, God. That's a bad idea. I need more. I need more milk. Oh, God, God. Yikes.
When the whole office was like Dogecoin, this, that.
On Sirius XM, Mad Dog. Thank you for taking the time
What's
to
for?
check
Am I
out
supposed
the
to- you supposed to
small
do that, or-
regional show
What's that?
streams
We all heard?
internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back to the show. Yes, everybody heard me.
Oh, yeah, that was live. That was live.
Zito was mocking how we had so many stock market experts in this office just a few months
In
ago.
the back here, yeah.
Dogecoin craze.
That was funny.
Split the atom, they said back here.
There is no better feeling than breaking free and going untouched into the end zone. That's why Fluid Master, the world's #1 toilet repair brand, is awarding the NFL player who has the best untouched touchdown every single week.
Hell yeah.
The Week 3 winner of a Soft Spa 9,500 bidet, as decided by thousands and thousands of voters, was Cordero Patterson.
Wow.
And the fan winner, the person that tweeted #PMS untouched and then put Cordero Patterson's name into the tweet, automatically entering in to win a $400 bidet Was that what it is?
Yeah.
$400 bidet just because this person tweeted hashtag PMS Untouched in Cordero Patterson's name. After finding out that Cordero Patterson was the winner, they tweeted this.
Yes.
Okay.
Scott Wallace.
Scotty.
At S Wallace 8182. I want to congratulate you, William, the entire family on an upgrade to your butthole. Listen, whenever you go to the bathroom and maybe you go poo-poo in the number 22, what is going to happen to you when this 9,500 soft spot bidet from Fluid Master comes into your life, you're going to realize, wow, I'm alive, but I haven't been living, because now that my booty hole is incredibly clean and fresh, I don't have to go hop in the shower after a poop.
No.
I'm having a shower for my butt after a poop.
That's right.
And it is a game changer, a life changer. And congrats to Scott Wallace on winning the Fluid Master 9,500 soft spot bidet. If you're not Scott Wallace and would like to get into this big, clean butts phase and craze,
Hell yeah.
go to shop.fluidmaster.com, use promo code PAT4930, and you'll get $49.30 off your soft spot 9,500 bidet.
Let's go.
Hey, it's good life when your butt's getting washed by
Oh,
someone.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a game changer.
Just lost the battery down there.
Shit.
Welcome back to the show. 46 minutes in hour two. Just had an incredible conversation with Ian Rappaport. Didn't really tell us much. I assume he's going to break more news on his Twitter account. I guess the news he did break to us that was already broken by the Atlanta Falcons, Calvin Ridley not traveling to London this weekend. Ooh. Also Gage, I guess their number 2 wide receiver. He's also not traveling to London. So Falcons Jets in London town, 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, seem to be headed in the Jets' favor. Momentum
seems to be.
Zach Wilson's a player. They are not completely defeated. Don't ever forget that. The New York Giants also not completely defeated. 1 overtime run. They go ahead and do their thing. Who are we going to bet on for that one? Feels like it would be smart money to go on the Jets in that particular frame.
Yeah, but the Falcons also, Cordero Patterson has kind of been their go-to guy, and he's playing.
He is playing. Kyle Pitt's still out there.
Kyle Pitt's still out there. Mike Davis still out there.
Hey, Matt Ryan out there.
Matt Ryan's still out there.
Wow. Arthur Smith still calling the plays.
Oh yeah. The Tim Burton character. Yeah, he's still calling in all the plays for them.
So whenever we go on the other side of this whole thing, when we think about the Jets, we have to go. Is Zach Wilson still playing football?
Yes, he is.
He'll make some plays in London.
Yeah. Corey Davis. Has he ever been to London though?
Who?
Zach Wilson.
Well, we can look into a contingency of a potential group of people and see if it's over there or not, and we can tell quickly if he'd be very comfortable.
I don't think he will be.
You're telling me there's not a lot of Mormons over there in London?
I think there are a lot of Protestants.
Really? Because that potentially goes all the way back to whenever we said, hey, we ain't doing this freedom of religion thing.
Exactly. So he might be very uncomfortable over there.
Really?
And we know Matt Ryan's full of ice, so nothing bothers him.
In 2020, yeah, Matty Ice. 2021, though, I think the Mormons have maybe moved over to London at some point.
I would imagine there's a few Mormons over there.
I would assume so.
I don't think so. I think they all moved
Not
over
that
to
that's the
Utah.
only people that would support Zach Wilson. I'm just saying maybe you feel comfortable over there with his crew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The squad.
If you age Zach Wilson like 80 years, I think he may look like the Queen. So, he may be very comfortable.
I don't think so.
A fair point. That is a fair point.
We'll take that into consideration.
There's one of them churches up there in London.
What's that, buddy?
There's one of them churches up there in London.
Okay, so the way you spoke about it seemed to be in a little bit of a derogatory way.
And I actually looked at Zach Wilson's Instagram. He has never been to London as well.
Knew it. Okay, did you scan through it, or did he
Yeah,
post
just make
that?
sure if he had any pictures of Big Ben
With
or anything.
tags.
Yeah, I shot out.
So
I'm
this is his
Big
first
Ben.
time. He's gonna want to show out.
Yeah, take photos.
Yeah,
in
he's
London.
going to want to show out in the town and see what's going on.
Oh, you
over
think
there.
Zach Wilson is going to go out and about?
Hey, boys, let's go get a pint.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think Zach
No,
Wilson's
no,
going
no,
to say
no.
that because of what we were previously speaking of.
I'm
Let's
almost
go get a
positive.
Diet Pepsi, maybe.
Yeah.
No.
The Church of Latter-day Saints in England has about 2,000 members in its congregation.
Boom.
Okay.
And guess what time they
200,000.
meet
I'm sorry,
at?
200,000.
Yeah, I was about to say 2,000.
Okay.
Very small. 200,000.
200,000.
They're rolling deep, dude. Zach Wilson's going to be so comfortable. I got the Jets.
They're probably all going to go to Wembley.
I would assume, yeah.
No, because they have mass. They're not going to be at Wembley. They're going to be in their church.
Do we know what day of the week?
I can
Sunday.
I can call. Thank you, Zito. Give him a call.
Sunday at like what? 1:30.
But in Sunday, when we're playing over there, what time is it? We're playing later, right? I think we
6.
played late afternoon.
Yeah, I thought it was 6 hours ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, it is 6, right? when we do this fallback thing here in a little bit,
Yeah.
Arizona doesn't change, right?
No.
They actually change from a 3-hour difference to a 2-hour difference. And then left coast remains a 3-hour change because they change alongside of us. So Arizona Phoenix goes from left coast to mountain.
Yeah.
And then there's central in between that and eastern.
Bingo.
Twilight Zone.
That's a wild
And then over
decision.
in England, it's 6+. And then I think over in like Japan, it's 17 or something, or 15 or something like that, 16. Which makes no sense because in Australia, they're celebrating a New Year. We haven't even made it through fucking New Year's Eve halfway. We haven't even woken up yet. And they're already on the other side.
Full day ahead.
That's futures bets. We should get somebody in Australia to tell us what's going on.
But it was good to know during Y2K, like, hey, Australia's already been through it. They're good.
Their computers are okay.
We're going to be all right.
All right, yeah, you're right. That gave us like a 10-hour brace period, but I still feel like a large amount of the people I was around still were acting like the world was going to end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think so. There was like 2020 parties still.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Or 2K parties, I'm sorry, not 2020. Oh, yeah. There was 2K parties as if the world was going to crash. Yeah, computers were going to stop. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
You young kids don't even know what it's like to think that your life's going to crash down around you, do you?
What are you talking about? We had 2012. Everybody said, hey, 2012, it's going to blow up.
Well, and also you had 2020 as well. I think everybody kind of had the world stopped.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Let's just hope we can have Christmas this year, huh?
All right.
Get your goggles on.
All right, let's go to the phones.
There's that list again.
What's that? Yeah,
List
that's
of
one of the
people,
list of people, yeah. That was wild for him to state that right into a camera. I hope we can have Christmas this year.
After he threw that wild pitch.
I saw 4 million people in stadiums the day before that celebrating having the time of their life. Jump around.
Yeah.
Jump up, and get
down.
They're jumping on top of each other.
Yeah.
We might be able to have Christmas.
Hopefully.
All right. I understand that maybe he was referring to the different generations because family gatherings, that whole thing, but it does feel as if there are two different viewpoints on how the world should be living right now.
Yeah, newsflash, I think we're having Christmas this year.
Yeah, and I think the large amount of people are saying we're having Christmas are also saying we're having full stadiums and we're going to have Thanksgiving too. And wait until we trick or treat up on this motherfucker too.
They take Christmas away.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Rooster. By the way, we are not the people you should be coming to for ideas or opinions on real life things. We are just pointing out the fact that it is alleged that we can't have Christmas this year.
Yes.
The football games can happen. Christmas couldn't have happened. Now it seems like those are both going to be able to happen.
There will be 80,000 people in that stadium tonight.
At Christmas? Oh.
In Seattle.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about in Seattle.
I mean, we just had the
They're going to be
NFC.
very loud, too.
Very loud.
I thought you were going to say there's going to be 80,000 people at my Christmas this year. And I was like so excited for that.
I might do that just to try it out.
Yeah, because that's what Fauci was saying, you know?
Yeah.
Although Christmas, usually a fat guy comes in with a big sack and unloads all the presents. This Christmas, it might be a fat guy coming in with a sack and hauling Gumpy away.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What's that all about? He's going to jail? What's that all about? Let's go to Zach Brown.
Going to jail.
No.
Come on.
Dumpy's going to be going bye-bye if he keeps up
With the way he speaks.
What, for saying I wanted Christmas?
No, that's not what you said. It's how you say everything, Gump. And that's what we were talking about earlier whenever you said, you know who. It was like, at this point with you, we don't.
Nope.
Because that's a laundry list of people, potentially.
All I want is Christmas and to not run the ball on first down. That's
All
all I
right,
pray.
let's go to Andy in Wisconsin on the 5-hour energy phone line. Andy, what's going on, dude? Canadian.
Pat, boys, thanks for taking my call.
Andy.
Show stinks.
Okay,
How you
thank
doing?
you.
Keep it moving.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you.
I want to talk about that hockey talk.
Big show last night.
Pretty pleasantly surprised with the changes made.
Oh, okay.
Mike Rupp added to the list.
Rupper.
Spoiler alert.
All-timer for the Minnesota Wild. I know that gets foreshadowed a lot because of, Game 7 Stanley Cup winning goal. Not a big deal. But
that's great history.
Just curious if you guys are planning on adding AQ Shipley back to the joint.
Andy, thank you for your question. That's Hockey Talk debuted last night. Season 3 of this thing is brand new with a new guest host. Mike Rupper has joined full time.
Rupper, baby.
Congrats to Frank and Gumpy getting that thing off the ground last night with Billy in his cave, making sure all of the tech was working well. That was a great show last night. Going to be going live this year. That's a little bit different than in the past. Normally, it was a pre-recorded thing because you had to work around Super Bowl champion coach AQ Shipley's schedule. Now you guys are going live every Wednesday, and hopefully there will be a time where AQ Shipley can make it back on the show that he helped start.
Thank you. Appreciate you giving us the resources and the time to make that happen.
Shout out Rupper.
And Rupper jumping on board, that's a huge deal. That guy's a legend. He already gave Gumpy a new nickname in a matter of...
Gumps.
Gumps.
And AQ, when football's done, if he's not too busy, he'll come back.
Yeah, but what's he going to know about hockey? Nothing. All he's doing is watching film right now. Yeah. You know what I mean?
True.
Leave him out.
Show was really good last night, people will say.
It was unbelievable.
People say the show was really, really good last night. Now, I do think AQ in there would have added something.
Maybe.
I do think. But he's on a task to find another Lombardi.
That's right.
He doesn't have time to be preparing for a goddamn live hockey show every Wednesday night. Coming to you live from his basement, by the way, which is what the boys are doing here.
Yeah.
Nick was in a room. Gumpy was in what appeared to be a jail, people were saying in the comment section. And Rupper was coming live from the basement of a bar.
Dave and Buster's.
Edinburgh Hotel. Have a little respect. He was supposed to have a room, and then trivia night took that thing, so he had to go down to the basement. But that's the type of thing that'll happen during the live watch-alongs that you guys will be doing all year long as alongside the primetime games on Wednesday. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. Thanks to Rupper. Hour 3's on the other side. We'll have Jeff Saturday join us.
Yes.
Whoa. See you then. Throughout my entire life, whether it was driving me to practice, to go to work, the coaches that invested hours in me, everything I have done to get to this point. I got a whole town, a community, a family, a tribe of people watching me potentially live out my dreams that we all thought was going to happen. And when I get to Rock, I get a chance to carry 8 motherfuckers that are playing for a team that is in the city that I went to college in. I carry 8 people, have the biggest moment in my football career, maybe make a team, if not with the coach somewhere else. Hey, that guy's got juice, let's do it. Change the entire direction in the course of my family's life. I can't be excited though.
No.
Don't even think about it.
Don't you fucking dare.
Are you kidding me? All that just happened and everything I just said there and more is potentially happening in that one play? Don't even fucking think it. Get your fucking ass back in the huddle. You know Barry Sanders? Hey, Barry Sanders, he'd score a touchdown and he would just hand it to the ref and then he was gone. Why don't I? Well, Barry Sanders also won the Heisman, right?
Yeah.
It was also like the all-time leading scorer in this whole thing. Barry Sanders was unbelievable, worked his ass off. Let's not get crazy. And Barry Sanders had the ability to act like he had been there before because Barry Sanders, by the way, had fucking been there before. And maybe Barry Sanders, the way he goes about business isn't how everybody goes about business. Maybe there's a lot of different stories, a lot of different situations, a lot of different life events that lead to somebody acting differently than somebody that just acted, almost robotic while being one of the most exciting and electric players in the history. Got nothing but love for Barry Sanders. Let's not get crazy. But there's a lot of people tweeting, act like you've been there before. It's like, you think this motherfucker's been there before? This dude just carried 8 people and maybe changed the entire life. He can't be excited. Aren't we a game of emotion? Aren't we a game of excitement? Why is this a fucking penalty? Hey, Goodell! Hey, eating your M&Ms, sitting on the chair, being cool. You became my commissioner. You weren't my commissioner when, hey, you dance, you're fucking out. Your sock slide, you're fucking out. We don't want anything. We want robots, no emotion. Everybody hated you then, Raj. All right, everybody hated you. And nobody understood why you're trying to take the fun out of the game. You're doing it because you want to be able to just pluck and play. You didn't want to have players be brand names because then you could replace them easily. Okay, I understand the business side of it, but we all agreed, the tribe has spoken, that the game's better when people are excited. Some things are too much. All right, some things are way too much. There were some dances that happened that looked a little bit more like basketball, where we're all like, there's no way that can happen with a full line dance. We get it. There was some. But it added to the game. The excitement added to everything. Now taking away this and making it a point of emphasis. And I'm not saying that there should be egregious, if something egregious happens, they should penalize them. Yes, please. It's not for the good of our game, not for the good of the league, not good for fans, not good for anybody. I understand that's going to happen, but a point of emphasis means, hey, we're cracking down on this because we don't want it to happen anymore. And why are we targeting that as opposed to targeting something else I'll never understand? My commissioner, Roger Goodell, is going to get to the bottom of this if Sam Acho doesn't do it first.
Yeah.
First things first, 50-yard trash can drop into the bucket accuracy contest. Apple, Seco. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it.
All right, let's see how easy it is to catch now with the boys.
Time is to play down low.
All right, so you can throw the shit out of it and catch it. I think the XFL ball gets a big pass. By the way, I hit some bombs with it as well.
Todd.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is risk-free same game parlay Thursday night football. Thursday, October 7th and hour 3 with Jeff Saturday joining us begins right now. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. The Toxic Table is here. Shout out to you guys, Boston Connor, Ty Schmidt, COVID Cowboy, host of Hammer Down, which runs 15 minutes after every show ends here at youtube.com/Hammer Down. They are the hottest gambling show on the planet.
By far.
Bar none.
I don't know how they do it.
Me neither.
You guys time traveling out there, or are you guys just dealing with the universe like the Alchemist?
I do have to make a correction. I was 2-1 last night. I was not undefeated. You led off the show with that.
Oh, that's because that's what you guys tweeted in the morning. Is that what is happening to me? You guys are saying you're doing much better than you actually are? Is that why am I getting led astray?
That was just the winners.
Okay.
The rest
hey, listen. Only the bangers survive.
I just wanted to be honest. The rest of them were undefeated.
Oh, okay, boys. Hold it down. Still doing well. All right.
If it was a 1-run homer instead of 2-run homer, then.
Oh, okay, dude. Hey, Tony, you would have been undefeated, man. That's awesome. Anyways, joining us now is a man who is a multiple-time Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion, a teammate of mine, and also the guy who I believe, it should be talked about more, is allegedly responsible for one of the CBAs getting done. Ooh. Yeah, one of the smartest persons I've ever been around, especially in a football locker room, out of North Carolina, center, number 63, Jeff Saturday.
Yeah, Jeff!
What's up, dude?
What is up, bro? I cannot tell you how excited I am to be on your show, bro. I am super fired up about this.
No, Jeff, I want to let you know, whenever we heard that you were potentially coming on, the boys and I were fucking elated. Yeah. Hey, we've been seeing you on ESPN. You've been crushing it, by the way. I didn't know if you were going to get into media more or full time. It seems like you're kind of picking and choosing when you do that. I think you're coaching high school football back in Georgia. It's great to see you, Jeff. We're pumped as well, pal.
I appreciate it. Yeah, man, got a lot going. I enjoy I enjoy the ESPN gig, but they are awesome with my schedule. So to your point, I'm not on all the time, but I'm on enough just to let people know my opinion and try to stir the world a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Have you enjoyed that? Have you enjoyed the media thing? And are you also still coaching back in Georgia? Is that a conflict of interest, or do you feel like your team actually enjoys when you get in there and stir the pot on ESPN?
No, I actually just stopped coaching. My oldest graduated and went on to college, and my youngest is in middle school. So I started helping with him now. And so I always did it just to be around my kids, man. That was the most important thing to me. Had some great times. But the media part for me is a ton of fun, man. I get to watch ball, be around it, but not have to be married to it, coaching it, each and every day. So it's one of those things that kind of gives me the best of all worlds.
Jeff Saturday, obviously very accomplished center in the NFL for a long time with the Colts and then with the Packers as well. I had a chance to play with the Packers and signed a one-day deal, I think, to retire as a Colt. Did you hate the game when you left it? Because I know you're a guy that loved football. Did you have a jaded ending or no? You had a pretty good view on the whole thing.
No, man, I loved the game, dude. I had so much fun. I tell people all the time, it was so much better than I deserved. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where, as you age out of the game, you kind of realize part of your body, part of the game, it's built for the youngins. I know Brady's done something that's next to miraculous, but most of us can't do it. And also, man, being able to kind of transition into media and coaching helped kind of ease it. You know what I mean? Like, anytime you love being able to talk about what you do every day, man. I mean, how good is that, bro? I couldn't be more blessed.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's a joke. I've been able to keep the football itch, which I've always been a fan of. I still am in there. I'm forced to watch it, and I'm allowed to watch it all. I've made it my job that I have to watch every football game. And I think being busy, you with coaching your kids and being a dad and also doing the media has helped me transition out of the game. And I think a big part of whenever I was in the game was learning from vets like you. I was very lucky to come into a locker room that was OG filled. I mean, literally across the board. And I recall that CBA deal. And it was talked about a little bit, but then it was kind of buried. And I think that's because agents want other agents to potentially look good or lawyers to look good or whatever the case is. With being in the NFLPA so in-depthly and being a part of that CBA agreement, and then now you see there's another one that happens. I think tomorrow the executive director thing is up for a vote maybe potentially.
Right.
How much of that, I hate the NFLPA. Okay, and it's because of situations that I've had with them where I'm like, this is not what I should be giving my money to. There's a lot of ex-players, though, that don't like the NFLPA. How much of that is just all political bullshit that you can't really get a lot done? And how did you navigate those waters to be such a pivotal part of that entire CBA getting finished?
Yeah, I will tell you, it's a lot tougher than people imagine, right? Like when you walk in, everybody's like, oh, well, all the players think this and you should do that. It don't work like that. And you and I know, being in the locker room, man, to get all 53 and then add the practice squad guys on, the 60-plus guys every time to all think alike is very difficult. And then you think about how short careers are. The truth is most guys are trying to worry about them and their stuff, right? And so when you're trying to negotiate 10 years and what the expectations of the future revenue is going to be, there ain't nothing easy about it. But I will say, I learned so much, man. I learned so much about business, about people. You know what I mean? Like you really learn what dudes are really about. You know what I mean? Like what they're really about. Not what they say they're about, but like when they call you privately after meetings, like that's when you really know. So I did, man. I'm proud of the work we did. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But that I think we got the most for our guys. I really do, man. I think they continue to try to build on it, but ain't nothing perfect, dude. And when you get people, people can screw up all kinds of stuff, and it happens from time to time. But, bro, I learned a whole lot about people and about business doing that.
Yeah, I could imagine. You're talking to some of the most successful billionaires on earth in the biggest league on earth and their lawyers. Before I continue to ask you about that, who's the dog in the back? Hey, it's a good-looking dog back here.
I got Pandora, and that's George, and they're sitting back. I just dropped my youngest off at they got a game here in a little bit. So they like to ride with me, get in a little field, run a little bit. So this is their time to shine.
Is Pandora because of Avatar?
No, she's adopted. That was her name. We adopted her. She was a rescue.
Oh.
And now on her cage going to get her, bro. And she has been. We've had her almost 11 years now. She's been fantastic.
Dogs are the absolute best. I'm excited to see yours riding alongside of you. And we're talking to Jeff Saturday. And I want to close up that CBA conversation because it is so impressive that you as a player did this, by the way. And especially now with what I'm learning with business and how things actually go, potentially behind the scenes and who's saying what and what inevitably ends up happening are two very different things sometimes. When did you decide to do that? Was there a chance that you thought there was going to be no season? Like it was going to be a standoff and that's why you got involved and the deal happened?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We were negotiating actually in New York, and as we were having this conversation, we were actually about to sign the deal. And I felt like, the owners had kind of put something before us, and we were kind of working really to help them get the deal done. You know what I mean? Like we had kind of stirred ourselves into let's try to get this going. I remember sitting in the room, and Mawai and those guys had walked upstairs. And I'm looking at it. I'm looking at Drew and some other guys. I'm like, man, we can't do this. Like, we got to go up there. And so we went up, said, hey, man, we're going to stop this thing. Ultimately, they locked us out at that moment. But it was the best decision we made, man, because we made a bunch of gains, especially from a player health and safety perspective. Financially, you've seen it. Like it's turned out pretty freaking good, right, for everybody. So can it get better? Yeah. But, man, we made a lot of really good decisions. But that's, you kind of get in that position where you got 1,200 guys calling you, telling you, hey, man, I need to get the deal done, but it wasn't the right time, and we made the right call.
Yeah, I think so, too. And now let's talk about some football because so impressed by you business-wise, behind the scenes, and getting a chance to watch you operate in the locker room and everything was cool, except for, the little bit of kicker remarks you make every once in a while. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. But Jeff, being a teammate of yours was really cool. I mean, watching you think and execute was awesome, and I think now is the time we have to talk about some football because that is something you're an expert in. Whenever we watch this game tonight, Jeff, and I don't know if you ever crossed paths with Aaron Donald, I don't know what the years were, but every time he's on TV, he is spotlighted, right? And it's interesting because he's a D lineman. He used to be an interior D lineman. Now they're kind of moving him around everywhere, I think, because of how explosive he is. But why is that attention on Aaron Donald? What does he do that maybe some other defensive linemen don't do? Why is he the Greek god, it seems like, of football players right now? Because that is an overwhelming agreement by all the good football minds that I know. They say this guy's the guy. Why is that?
Yeah, he has every facet of his game is good, and then he has the great portions, right? Like when you look at the way he can anchor down against the run, it's good. When you see how he can split the gap in the run, it's great. When you see how he can pass rush from an outside three technique, it's great. When you see him get interiorly and get matched up one-on-one, it's above. It's like astronomical what he can do. So when you look at every phase of his game, he's kind of the complete guy. And the truth is, man, is his size. I know everybody talks about like that he's undersized, but his leverage point of being a shorter player, it makes him a nightmare for guys, man. I'm like, he's under you. His hat placement, his leverage, he's under you, and he has the quickest hips of any D lineman that I've seen play, man. Like, he can turn that edge faster than any other guy. That's what differentiates him, man, is that he's got the goods, and then you tack on the want to. And again, you remember it from our locker rooms. You have the try-hard guys, right? Yeah. Well, he's got all the tools, and he's a try-hard. That makes him an absolute nightmare for offensive linemen.
The try-hards, by the way, talent beats hard work when talent doesn't work hard or something like that. I forget exactly the statement, but is that right? Is that the right one? I don't know if I have that right, but
you are close. It is. If talent beats hard work when talent works hard.
Yeah, and there it is.
When guys don't, bro, it shows up. And he's not a 2 play on, 2 play off type guy. I used to love playing those dudes, right? I mean, Howard Mudd used to tell me all the time, man, get your butt kicked with dignity against those guys, right? Like take a couple embarrassing plays, but the other 60 you'll be highlighted. And so he doesn't give you that opportunity, bro. He don't give you the highlight tape, which always hurts from an offensive line perspective.
Hey, Pittsburgh guy, by the way. That's probably why, if I had to guess. It's probably why. Pittsburgh guy, he ain't taking a day off. All right, putting a hard hat on there. How do you feel about the modern style of offense and everything? And I think Brandon Staley came out and said something that maybe hurt the feelings of the analytic world, because he said running the ball is a physical style of game that can't show up in stats. Like that type of intimidation, that type of, your team out physicaling another team is something that doesn't show up in the stats, and that's why the run game is so important. But it feels like the game is getting away from it a little bit, whether it's the RPOs or the option stuff. How do you feel about the modern style as compared to the style that you were playing whenever Peyton was your quarterback in your time in the NFL?
Yeah, I loved what Staley said, because it's the truest statement that a coach has made all season, right? That the numbers that you look at, right, that sometimes you average 3 yards a carry or 4 yards a carry, whatever that looks like, it's not that you get hung up on from an offensive line perspective. It's you are beating down the guy in front of you, right? You are physically imposing your will. You're being able to put two bodies on one and bang them around. It's like body blows fighting, right? Like you are literally sawing him down, so that when you can pass protect, he's not in a freaking sprinter stance coming to tee off on your face. Because remember, you're backpedaling, right? Like you're trying to absorb his power from his legs with your upper body. That don't work without taking shots on him and kind of chopping down the tree. So what Staley said, man, needs to be reiterated throughout the league. It's one of those things that everybody falls in love with, the shiny toys on the outside. But the truth is, fatigue matters. And I can tell you there's no greater example than as we won the Super Bowl in Indy with Peyton, is that we ran, we ran the football, we stopped the run, all of those things showed up, and it made it happen. And I think that's what needs to be discussed more in football offensive meeting rooms.
Yeah, Joseph Adai. I believe Dommy was there as well.
Dommy Rhodes, baby.
Yeah, Dominic Rhodes was a legend of a human being. The first time I met him, he had two grills up and down, and he came up full energy. I love that man. As Joseph Adai, one of the coolest dudes I've ever been around in my entire life. That team was awesome. And obviously, whenever you talk about the run game, especially whenever you talk about having success on those teams, because the conversation revolves around, that offense being so proficient, especially because you had the sheriff at quarterback, a man who you had an incredible relationship with. I think you two, closest of friends, been through it together. But there's that one moment that a lot of people like to reference because it's viral on the internet.
Just block, Jeff.
Yeah, that whole sideline interaction. How often did that happen? And how quickly after that did you guys say, okay, we just got caught both mic'd up in a terrible situation? You know what I mean? How often did that happen?
It happened all the time. In practice, it happened weekly, right? Like we'd be in heated arguments all the time about what we should do, what call we should make, all of those things. And it happened in games as well. The greatest part, when they show it, right, they always make the quarterback look good, right? And again, man, it is what it is, right? He comes down and we get at it, but after it, we go down the next time and we run it and we score. And there's they cut to it like we hug up. So we had hugged up the very next series because the sense had come back to him and he understood the smartest guy on the field was the guy in front of him, right? You know what I mean? Like I tell people all the time that I've carried two quarterbacks to the Hall of Fame. If you're going to get behind somebody, I'm the guy, right?
Oh, that's awesome. How did your relationship with Peyton start? Right, because you're undrafted or fifth round or sixth rounder. I forget what it was. I don't remember, out of North Carolina. But then you somehow, because that's a big decision by Peyton, and Peyton is a guy who makes decisions, by the way, especially who's going to be his center. And I wasn't there for it, obviously. I was at the tail end of it. But a lot of people said, like, hey, Peyton, like, I don't want to say handpicked Jeff, but was like, hey, Jeff's my guy almost. What was that relationship like at the beginning? And were you undrafted? I forget the whole story.
Yeah, I was undrafted, and I actually played guard my first year with the Colts. I started a couple games at left guard when Steve McKinney went down with an emergency appendectomy, and then I rotated over at right guard. And but Peyton and I began to kind of work in. Howard Mudd gave me some cuts at the center position, and then we battled it out my second year. Larry Moore, who was a starting center, and man, it just fits my personality, right? I like to talk. I like to kind of boss people around and tell people where to go. I'm not scared to make a mistake. So all those things kind of fit, man. And Peyton's one of those guys, and you know it, and I do. Like, he wants accountability, and he wants somebody to kind of come back at him. And I was never afraid to go back at him and be like, hey, bro, this ain't right, or this isn't. And that relationship, man, when it started way back in 2000, he always had my back, man. It wasn't always perfect, but, brother, we may get after each other, but we knew at the end of the day we were both working to be the best. And I think that's how the best relationships are forged, man. Accountability to each other and understanding, man, when we screw it up, own it and must move on.
I think getting a chance to be around guys like you and Peyton in my rookie year in the NFL, seeing the interactions and then getting a chance to experience some of like Peyton's life, your life, and everything like that, that taught me so much going forward that like some of the most competitive people who are in some very powerful positions, they want to be talked to just like how you would talk to your friends if they were fucking up, basically. Like that is, I think, what I learned the most carrying into the business world. So anytime there's somebody of power potentially that walks through a room, there is zero sense of fear because I'm like, hey, this person is exactly like I am probably, and how a lot of people I'm friends with, they just want to be talked to, and if they're wrong, they want to hear it too. Like they would like to hear it and then fix it, but if they're not wrong and you tell them they're wrong, now you're in fucking trouble. Now, that is when it becomes a whole situation there. I was very lucky to be a part of your team. Go ahead, Ty.
Jeff, how much different was it when you did go to the Packers for those last couple of years after you'd been in the same locker room, for your entire career? Was it easy to kind of transition because you had so much success and you were a vet at that point, or how much different was that process?
No, bro, it sucked, man. I'm not going to lie to you, man. It was tough. I came from a locker room, and McAfee can speak to this as well, bro. Like players drove it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I didn't need I didn't need the general manager or the head coach to go to a guy and be like, hey, man, you ain't doing your job. Like, that's what we did, So if one of my guards wasn't playing well or tackle, I would be the guy to go to him and say, hey, man, you got to pick it up or they're going to replace you. And when I went to Green Bay, it was a coach-dominated team. Aaron was just kind of cutting his teeth. And so McCarthy had his thumb on everything, man. Coaches broke it down all the time. Coaches would say, and I had some great teammates, man. Josh Sitton, TJ Lang, Balaga was there. I had some good dudes, but it was like coaches wanted to run everything, and that did not fit my personality. Like, I didn't want to hear from a guy who wasn't suiting up with me, bro. Like if you ain't out there, I really don't want to hear. I want you to coach me. I'm all for you coaching me hard. You can mother F me all you want, bro. You can tell me anything you want. But by God, realize I'm out there. So you better arm me to go do my thing and get the guys around me ready to go. And I just never felt that. And that's why it wasn't a good fit for me. I am not a guy who, wants to kind of, relinquish my authority and the experience I had to some guy who's coaching. That just wasn't my speed.
Hey, very fascinating, because everybody just assumes, well, that coach is, the smartest guy in football. You listen to what he says. It's like, well, Jeff, pretty fucking good too. Yeah. Shouldn't we potentially think about that? And that was that locker room. Gary Brackett in the linebacker room. That was who I got to work with in the individual drills. People were going to Gary to ask the questions, not going to Murph. Although I love Murph, but it's like, hey, Gary, how are we going to play this whole thing? The tight end room. Dallas Clark was the guy. Reggie was the guy in the wide receiver room. I mean, it was just one. Joseph Adai was the guy in the running back. It was very much like, hey, we're in this thing together. That's why when I started hearing about the Aaron Rodgers shit as I continue to grow up, I'm like, what are we talking about that Aaron doesn't have any say in who his wide receivers are? I was actually mind blown. Like, how is that even something? Because when Andrew came into the building, all I wanted Andrew to do was like, hey, you need to start being a little bit more of like an asshole. Like, I wasn't the right person to tell him that, but that was very obviously the thing. Like, hey, Andrew, you can pick who your center is. You can pick who your wide receiver is. This is what you should do. You getting a chance to see how it was in Green Bay, that I assume that is kind of just stuck how it's always been, is just this is how it goes. You can see how a guy like Aaron, who is one of the greatest football minds of all time, alongside the other greats up there in the Mount Rushmore world, having a little bit more say would just make sense. But some people just can't do it, Jeff. Some people can't turn.
And listen, and Aaron wanted it. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, when we were there, we would be in walkthroughs, and I remember getting play calls and just seeing like the countenance on his face, and you just knew it was like, he don't want to run this play, right? Like this isn't what he wants. And he was a good teammate. He didn't want to cause a fuss or do whatever at the time. So he kind of let it play. And I'm sure they had their meetings behind closed doors. But even when you got on the field, man, I can remember just watching and thinking to myself, man, like this isn't how it goes, right? Like, this isn't how you empower a guy to lead. And you and I both know, man, like, when you run out of that tunnel, that dude who's throwing that rock, he's got to be your guy. Like he can be quiet, he can be what, but he's got to be the guy that everybody in the building believes in. And it astounded me that it wasn't like that, and it made it not fun, man. It's not fun when I got to look to a coach for everything as opposed to looking to a dude who I know can carry us to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I was mind blown, mystified by it, as I assume you were, and I'm happy to hear this from you, by the way, because it makes me feel like I wasn't as insane for, I don't want to say overreacting, but being like, what the fuck, how does the guy who especially is a Mount Rushmore guy now. So you're just assuming this coach is smarter than Aaron Rodgers is? I guess that makes sense in high school and college, like you know more football IQ, but who knows more than that dude about Lambeau, Green Bay, success, everything? I don't know why you wouldn't want his opinion, you know? Like, I don't know why that wouldn't be a case, but I guess old dog, new tricks. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Jeff, I might be misremembering this, but I believe AJ once mentioned that there was either a day of during training camp where there was full pads and you guys were hitting each other and you said, you know what, I'm good. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Is that true? And then also, what are your thoughts on training camp and preseason? And do you see that eventually just getting kind of cut down or cut out completely?
Yeah, I think I was in year 14, and we're going down there, bro, and we were like they got us doing freaking 9-on-7 for about 40 minutes, and I was there, and I was like, when I was in Indy, I'd do about 6 minutes and 9-on-7, and I'm jogging down with Peyton, and he and I are doing, we're doing some drill work for some 7-on-7, and my world, I was down there in the trenches thinking, what did I get myself into, bro? Like what? Like, hey man, like, I'm 14 years in. I'm 37 years old. I can't get the hell beat out of my body like this in practice. I was like, I'm about to see you guys come when it counts. I was like, this right here, I ain't long for this, bro. I used to tell myself, hey, man, let's slow it down, bro. They can practice you. They can't make you practice hard. Like, it's sometimes govern this thing down a little bit. Let's use a little common sense. We're all going to be together in 7 days. But no, AJ, he knows it, bro. And listen, McCarthy and I had some dust ups, bro. I'm not a full-on company man, bro. We'll have some, we pass some words from time to time as well. So just all part of it.
Yeah, I guess it's all part of it, especially now that I hear how you view the coaches over there, them also making you do 9-on-7. Fuck, these dudes have no idea. You guys are probably great, but there has to be some conversations to be had here. That's amazing. Last question here. We can't thank you enough for your time and Pandora's time and... Jordan?
George.
Classic, George. George and Pandora back there having a good time down there in North Carolina, down there in Georgia. I mean, go ahead, Tone.
Jeff, a lot of young offensive linemen seem to be playing now. Some doing well, some not doing so well. How long were you into the league before you actually felt comfortable and like in yourself being in the NFL and going up against these guys?
Midway through my second year, I knew. Because like I said, I didn't start all my games as a rookie. I started a couple games, played a lot of special teams, and then kind of moved in.
There we go.
Midway through my second year, man, I was like, you know what? I got this, bro. Like, I'm gonna work and continue to get better. But I know what I have is good enough on Sundays. And so I think there's probably 16 games. Like, once you kind of play a season, you kind of figure it out a little bit. But it definitely takes time. And the speed of the game, listen, at every level you go up, the defense is what separates it, right? Like, offensive football stays pretty consistent. You add in, you sprinkle in, you do some stuff. But man, defenses, them dudes get paid a lot of money, and they're really freaking good, right? So I think that's the level that you have to get yourself up for, is adapting to, because you may play a guy who starts on Sunday, you may play one of those guys a year in college, maybe one, right? And so it's a difficult thing to get accustomed to when you see how they, how good they all are and how smart they all are on the defensive side of the ball.
How about you had Albert Hainsworth, right? Whenever he was balling, right? When he was with Tennessee, before he went and got his $100 million or whatever. I mean, who else? Vince Wilfork, was he running too? Whenever we were playing.
Yeah. We had Wilfork, we had Hainsworth, man. We had Jamal Williams out there in Charger land. We had the dudes. We had when I was playing, Ted Washington, who's about 400 pounds and 6'6", I wouldn't even see myself on film for half of the game. You know what I mean? Like, you can't see anything. It was all part of it. But there was some great ones when I was playing, and so much fun, bro. It was good. Hey, before I go though, because I don't know if you're going to invite me back. I'm hoping I get invited back.
Oh, absolutely, Jeff. Come on.
But just in case, I can't leave without this story.
Right,
So Pat comes to my house for Halloween. So my wife and I put on this Halloween spread, right? And like, it's a big deal. Everybody costumes up. Like, I mean, Vinatieri goes full up makeup artists from Hollywood being flown in. Like, this is a real deal. And McAfee had just done his swim, his best swim competition. Freak, right? So he comes over and he's a skier, and he shows up. He's like a downhill skier. He's all dudded up. So I'm getting all the guys. I'm like, hey man, let's all take a picture. I love my teammates being here. We're gonna hoist the trophy because I gave my Karen and I, my wife, gave a trophy for best dressed and all that. We get in the picture, and my wife drops some joke about him swimming. And dude gets butt hurt, bro.
No!
The party.
No, that ain't it. I was on rollerblades. Dude. I was in so much pain. I was waiting for the photo to leave.
No.
Yeah.
He broke my heart, dude. He rolls out of the crib. He's like my favorite rookie, dude. He's the only guy who's talking. Like every other rookie should be seen, not heard, except Pat, right? Because he's bringing you the best stuff, dude. He's so much fun in the locker room, and I love to bust up on kickers, punters. They're like linemen, only lesser of athletes, right? But they don't get talked about, And so then he leaves my crib, dude. It broke my heart. So just so y'all know, don't think Pat was this same cat when he was a rookie.
No!
Back in the day.
You're a legend, Jeff. I was lucky to be there. I was lucky to be a teammate of yours. It was moments like those, by the way, that I heard like other teams don't have that type of stuff. I think that is like the immediate indicator on whether or not they're going to be a good team or not. I've always said that, and I think it's because I got a chance to see the tail end of your guys' absolutely legendary run. Definitely come back anytime, man. Hey, Saturday's good on any day of the week for me.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Saturday. Thank you, man. I was in rollerblades. It was the rollerblades.
I've heard you tell the story.
Skier's a great costume.
Skier is a great costume, but it is reckless. I mean, it is a reckless because you got to skate around people's living rooms and kitchens.
Not comfortable.
Obviously, there's some intoxicated things that happen. Yeah, I do think she said something that there was a reaction. She's a very funny person, by the way. Like, legit.
Yeah.
Like, ball buster. And then I think I saw it as my cue to leave, because I think I had cramps in both of my feet. All right. I mean, I did just get arrested 11 days ago. All right. They're cracking jokes. I can't feel my legs. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Happy Halloween.
That team was awesome, though, man. Legitimately. And I think that is why, even though I was the youngest that kind of stuck around, I think, from the first regime to the second regime, they kept Reggie, Robert, Vinatieri. There was a couple of the OGs that were around on the Super Bowl team that was my rookie year or whatever. Whenever the new regime came in, they cut everybody. Remember, I've told the story numerous times where I've got calls and texts from my friends that are on the team. They're like, yo, they are cutting everybody, dude. I'm like, fuck, I'm probably out of here too. I am not good enough to be, in this whole thing. And I think Irsay kept me around because of the event that happened 11 days before that Halloween party. But after seeing how that first team was run, and I'm a pretty observant person. I think people have realized that at this point. I'm very lucky for it. It's going to leave, but I'm a rather observant human. I think it is one of the only good things I have. And it's been great for this job. Once I saw the way the new regime was running, it was like I knew Reggie, Vinny, and Robert Mathis knew.
Yeah.
And I never really spoke about it because I was young. I was still in year 4 or whatever, year 3. They were really old. But it was really quick that I was like, this is not... I mean, they just won a lot of games doing something the complete opposite way of this is going right now. It almost, I don't want to say, it felt like, I don't know, it just felt like quite a...
This ain't going to work.
A fall off. Yeah, it felt like quite a fall off. Now, Andrew Luck was unbelievable. That team, Chuck, B.A., I mean, we had a hell of a run, enjoyed that whole thing, but I remember thinking about the first couple of days, I was like, we're not in Kansas anymore, dude. They actually painted over all the shit on the walls. It's like, okay. All my friends just got painted. They all just got cut. By the way, you're going to learn how to directional punt or we'll cut you too, was the exact words I was told from the new special teams coordinator. I was like, I don't know how to do that. I just bomb the ball.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be a directional punter, and we're actually bringing in a directional punter that we really like to compete with you this fall. I was like, oh, okay. And you need to lose some weight. You look terrible. Oh, this is awesome. Great to meet you, man.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. I'm going to go walk over the fresh paint that you just put over my friend's head, and I'll go learn how to directional punt. Changed my life, helped me out immensely, becoming a directional punter who also could bomb a little bit. But yeah, it wasn't, that introduction to the new regime was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know, what is going on? But we turned it around. It became its own thing, its own culture. They had to build their own culture, do that whole thing. But there was much different times whenever old Jeff and Peyton them were on the team.
Yeah, and you've said before, like, you wish Luck could have just seen, even
One
for
time.
a week, just what Peyton was like.
And
as
not
the
even Peyton, I
CEO.
guess, like, because as Jeff is reminding me, and I should have seen this, I guess, but every room, it was like the vet was almost tasked with taking care of things. And I guess you got to earn that. You got to be able to earn that and go all the way up to that. And I understand, but in the NFL, and this is why the Urban Meyer thing is such a big deal. In the NFL, the players have a high football IQ as well, a drive, and they're getting paid more than the coaches. So they are invested and would like to win, because when you win, guess what? More money comes, more everything comes. So it's just a different ballgame. And that's why a lot of people, I think, were questioning whether or not Urban was going to work, because it's not the dictator style of college. But that team was awesome. I was very lucky to get drafted in that crew. I mean, granted, hindsight, I probably should have taken it more serious like I did towards the end of my career. But if I did, I wouldn't have had the friends I had. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
That's why I was
tit for tat.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a tough thing looking back on it. Like, I probably should have taken a lot of things more serious and stopped, drinking and having a good time as much. And then I'm like, well, I also became like friends with everybody because I was able to delete a beer faster than
You were a
anybody
good time.
else. Yeah, that was a good time. So I don't. It was kind of that was a tough thing, but I was very lucky to be with that team. Very, very lucky. And thank you to Jeff for joining us. We'll get to a break, and then we'll wrap up this show. I spilled something all over my blue tank top, by the way.
Oh, shit.
No.
Yeah.
That one's sweet, though.
This is sleeveless that the Cincinnati equipment manager sent to me. Shout out to you, because they heard me in the Fickle convo say I lost my sleeveless.
Oh, yeah. Shout out.
Very nice of them. It just so happened to be right outside. So after I spilled something all over my baby blue tank, I went with this. But I appreciate the Cincinnati equipment staff, dude. Equipment managers.
Yeah, good people.
Thanks, sweet.
It doesn't have a good shape to it. That's pretty boxy.
No pocket.
No pockets either. But it's not as nice as their first one they sent me.
No.
But this is a hell of a fucking sleeveless.
Yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that first one they gave me is the best sleeveless hoodie of all time. I was actually trying to get us to sell it.
Oh.
Couldn't find enough.
Turns out.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Of course.
They took them all, Cincy.
They might have, because they were dope, and I lost one. Fuck me. Anyways, we're back in 4 minutes. 1-833-4 McAfee. Can't wait to chat with you. Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Coach Mike Tomlin.
Oh, man, Pat, it's an honor to be on with you, man. Thanks for having me.
You're a legend. Thank you for putting me through my workout and having the scouts actually come watch me kick at West Virginia. I don't think I've ever fully thanked you for that moment, Coach.
No, man, I've drank the McAfee Kool-Aid for a long time.
Let's get right into it. The locker room culture changed completely when I was in the league, from when I was a rookie to when I was done, and I retired after the 2016 season. Now it's even more different, I would assume, from when you came into Pittsburgh and everything like that. The dancing on the logo, the TikTok, everything like that you guys have had to experience. What is your messaging in there? How do you adapt and let players be themselves without, doing too much? Because that is a fine balance that you've been able to do, I think, in an incredible job with throughout your entire time in Pittsburgh.
I think for me, more than anything, I try to stay connected. Just getting a sense of where these guys are coming from, what's in vogue for their generation, what captures their attention, how do they learn, how do they communicate, how do they interact with each other formally and informally. And I think being a parent kind of helps me. My boys are 19 and 20, so it's not much difference between them and some of the younger guys that I deal with here. And so for me, it's just about gaining an understanding, working to stay connected. That's my general attitude, man. It's adapt or die for me. And I don't want to be one of them old crusty guys, man, that just refuses to adapt. Although I am one of those old crusty guys now.
Yeah, you are old as shit now. You know what I mean? I mean, you've been around a long time. I remember back in the day, whenever you showed up, there was a lot more, to the camera. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that. Now you're just old ass man now, huh?
You know how it is. Years in this business will scar you, man. It'll settle you down.
That is classic. One of my favorite moments with you is when you would tell me every warm-up, I'm going to get you back to Pittsburgh when you're old and cheap. What does that mean? What did that mean? And should that have been taken as a smack in the mouth, like whenever you said that to me?
No, man, it was a tip of the cap, man. There's certain guys around this league that I'm really interested in, but I know I cannot afford. And and you were one of them. So I was going to wait for you to physically deteriorate a little bit until you came back into my wheelhouse.
Yinzers are going to go bananas in Heinz Field this weekend. First time it could be filled up in a long time. I can't wait to see it. And I can't wait to. Oh, mama, I'm in here. Oh, my life, Is that your alarm clock? Yeah, just say yes, by the way. Yeah.
It's my ringtone. It's my alarm clock.
We appreciate you, Coach T. Last question before we let you go. Why'd you let Troy Polamalu do what he fucking did to me? Why'd you let? I know you've heard of this. Why? Well, that's a short side of the field. That's bad football. You guys coaching unsound football over there in Pittsburgh? How did that happen?
We know you and love you as a man. But on Sundays in the fall, man, you're the nameless gray faces that we.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, never had a losing season, absolute legend, two-time Super Bowl champion, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah!
Thank you, Coach.
Every day is game day for these guys. It's showtime.
Whoa. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on risk-free same-game parlay Thursday Night Football Thursday.
Yeah!
Woo! We have a risk-free same-game parlay available right now. Only a FanDuel Sportsbook, and $10 will get you close to plus 15, 30, 153 bucks.
Baby.
I can't believe it's better than the graphic that we're showing here because the odds have changed.
Yeah, Collins.
In your favor. Because Chris Carson. I got a job, bitty bop, booty bop, booty bop, way now. Then I young and mom and her moving way now. I know my mama told me one day a love like you will only. Woo! Don't leave me lonely. Don't leave me lonely. You know? Especially because it's boot season. You know?
Hell yeah.
And today our show is brought to you by Thursday Boots. Yeah, Thursday Boots tagline is highest quality, honest prices because they use some of the best materials like full grain leather, supple glove leather lining, and gold standard Goodyear welt construction, just like the legacy brands that charge $400 plus for similar styles.
No thanks.
Thursday Boot Company sells their boots at prices starting at just $149.
Wow.
We have some pairs coming to the office for next week, and we were pumped to try on some of the different styles like the Captain, the President, and the Scout.
Oh, Scouty.
Hey, wait till you see how that President feels on them quads.
Looking good.
They got a drop top, big bop, big bop, give it away now. They are young and something, them bop, give it away now. I know my mama told me one day a love like you will only. Woo! Don't leave me lonely. Wow, man. Don't leave me lonely, especially in boot season. Thursday boots are perfect for people who understand quality and don't want to pay a high retail markup for a great-looking pair of boots that are built to last. Go to ThursdayBoots.com/Pat for free shipping, free return, and free exchanges. So if you don't like the fit out of the box, you can just send them right back and get a new pair.
Wow.
ThursdayBoots.com/Pat. Don't leave me lonely in boot season, dude.
Nuh-uh. Thursday Bones boots won't.
Well said.
Thursday bones, what?
Thursday Bones and Thursday Boots will not leave you lonely.
Well, I'll tell you what. My bones on Thursday makes them Thursday bones. They like going in those Thursday boots, especially down there on that bone that Justin Tucker was speaking about in the first hour from the big toe up to the ankle where they meet right in the middle there. That's the big bone. He's trying to match that onto the dimples in the leather, he said. That is how detailed he is in the ball that he is kicking. I would like to let you know that I never did as such, which is why I was probably never as good as Justin Tucker. That was insane. Welcome back to the show. 5 Hour Energy phone line is about to heat up, I believe.
Oh.
Tonight, I would like to make sure we get one last public celebration on Sirius XM Channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio before Chris Mad Dog Rooster takes over with Mad Dog Unleashed. And I would just like to everybody know that tonight's Thursday Night Football game is a good game.
Yeah, it is.
Thursday Night Football is normally not something to get like super pumped about until the game starts. You're like, oh, this is football. It's better than like NFC West baseball. You know what I mean? Or AFC baseball Mega Bowls. You know what I mean?
Mega Bowl.
Yeah.
Mega Bowl.
Nah, if you didn't get born in Boston and you didn't have to become a Boston Red Sox fan,
sure,
you would not have been a Mega Bowl fan 2 nights ago.
That's a great point. I didn't watch a lick of the NFC Mega Bowl.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Tonight, though, while you're watching this game, usually it's not a big hype or a build-up. Tonight's game is huge.
Unbelievable.
2 teams that can go on a run out of the NFC best. The Murderer's Row is what people are calling it because all the teams seem to be stacked. All the teams seem to be going all in. All of them have made colossal adds or trades to their teams within the last 2 years because they understand that their window is now. The fact that their window is now to win just so happens to be alongside 3 other teams' windows as well in the same division, I think is what the NFL has dreamt about, would dream about for every division to be like this. The NFC West is incredibly talented, and tonight we get a chance to see a show, and we have a risk-free same-game parlay. $10 win you 153 on this incredible game. I cannot wait to watch, which is why the after-hours show today will not be as long because I have to go run on a plane and fly to San Jose for tomorrow night's SmackDown. I'll be hosting the show live from a hotel in downtown San Jose.
Nice.
And AJ Hawk will be live in studio right here.
Wow. Here?
Yeah.
You're going to love San Jose. Been there. It's beautiful.
But I got to get there in time to watch that game tonight.
It's a long flight.
That's a 4-hour flight. That's a 4-hour flight. So I am literally running out of here after this show to get on a plane so I don't miss any of tonight because tonight's game is one that we should actually... Like, this is what we put in the hours on other Thursdays.
Hell yeah. Yes, exactly.
This is one of those Thursday night games that we've logged hours for. And that's why tonight's the night that the same game parlay is going to hit. We're going to take millions. And millions! Shout out to The Rock from FanDuel Sportsbook tonight as a team together.
Let's go.
Same game parlay right at the top of the screen there.
Hell yeah. Boom.
It's better odds than the one we're showing right here. $10. Risk-free if you opt in.
Opt in.
And if you win, 153. There's something going on with the opt-in thing, though. I guess this has become a problem.
Yeah. It's 2 separate things.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's 2 separate
So
things?
you have to opt in, and then you have to go back to the page. Then you make the parlay. And you click on the same game.
I put out a tweet explaining it very easily for the people.
That's very nice of you. Hey,
boy,
betting 101.
Yes!
101. Thank you, Tone.
Because they make it super easy for them to click on your thing, but that's not the opt-in. You got to opt in first. You got to click the opt-in first, then they click on your same game parlay.
Okay, got it. And I've been told that maybe a leg has been missing. Was that early, or was that if somebody
Yeah,
did it wrong?
We're good now.
And then allegedly, if you update the FanDuel Sportsbook app, if you out and go back in, allegedly it's all figured out, I guess.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm not 100% sure.
Here we go.
It would be nice if that was just one button, though.
If they were just like that in one.
Because if you
thing.
have done your same game parlay before and you don't do the opt in, like it'll still give you the like you can still hit yours, but you won't. It's not risk free.
So you don't get the $10 back.
Correct.
Let's make sure we have the $10 back option here, okay? So I can sleep better at night if this doesn't hit from one fucking touchdown not hitting like last week.
God damn it!
I couldn't sleep, dude.
I know, it was bullshit.
It was so close. That was for 160. Tonight, 153 or whatever. Let's go.
Here we go.
Now we go.
Make sure it's risk-free, though. Be smart about it.
Get in early, too, before they drop the odds.
Let's go to 5-hour energy phone line. Let's go to Root. True. Because the more people that get involved in that thing, the more it's going to...
Yeah, I mean, by the time the game started.
Yahtzee.
Let's go to Rooster over there in Mississippi. What's going on, Rooster? Cock-a-doodle-doo, pal.
What's up, Playboy? How you doing?
Hey, not too shabby, Rooster. I've never met a Rooster that I didn't like. I'll tell you that right now. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. I was just wondering if we could wake old Coach Lou Holtz up from his nap. I'd like to ask him a little question.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he is on the phone line. What do you want to ask old Coach Lou Holtz?
I'm wondering when he's going to finally get tired of old Brian Kelly's shit choking in the big opportunity games. Every big stage he gets on, he chokes. So when's Coach Lee going to suit him back up for the Fighting Irish and lead that team to a natty again?
Okay, Rooster, great question there. Cincinnati just went into Notre Dame and won that. Coach Lou Holtz, I think that is what he's referring to. Every primetime game that you guys might not win seems like you choose not to win every single time. Why is that? And is that a fair assessment, you think, Coach Lou Holtz, of Brian Kelly's Notre Dame football team?
Well, listen, I mean, once again, I don't give a damn what Notre Dame does. Notre Dame isn't going to get shit from me until they cut me a check for playing like a champion today. Mm-hmm. I see that red-faced fat son of a bitch, Brian Kelly, down there having the players smack the side. You know who brought that to South Bend? That was me, you son of a bitch. Okay? And I'll tell you what, until they do cut that check, Notre Dame's going to continue to just poop their pants in these big showcase games. Okay. And I'm not mad about it. I really don't care.
Wow.
Pay me my fucking money.
When was the last time you pooped your pants like the Notre Dame team has been doing in your eyes?
Well, I poop my pants 3-4 times a day, Pat. I mean, you eat as much applesauce as I do, it moves through you pretty quick.
He's a good man.
Go Irish.
Hey, Lou Holtz is a good man.
I love Lou Holtz.
We actually met him. He was incredibly nice to us.
So nice.
He was so nice to us. He has given so many great motivational speeches. He's a good man.
Good man.
Great man.
He's a great man, which is why, pains me to see what Notre Dame's doing to him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Thank you for
Pay
putting a
the
little bit
man's
of a
money.
spotlight on that. What's the big deal? You guys sell out every stadium. You guys, Notre Dame has a massive fan base, a lot of money, big money.
Big
NBC
money.
deal.
Yeah.
What's Lou Holtz doing? What's he up to? Just chilling?
Guys just want some applesauce and a
right.
fresh pack of Depends.
All right.
That's it.
All right, let's go to Mooney down there in Texas. Mooney, what's going on? Thank you, Rooster,
What's
for
up,
bringing
Pat?
that up. Hey, Mooney, what's going on, pal?
Make him do Syria.
Hey, how's it going? I know a lot of conversation about big wet butts in that office.
Oh, yeah.
So I was curious if any of you guys happened to hear Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer talking about you on their podcast earlier this week.
Mooney, I've seen this. I've seen the clip on Two Bears, One Cave. Obviously, two dudes that we're big fans of. Tom Segura has been on the show. Bert Kreischer's been in studio. I think he just made a movie over in Russia. Absolute, studs and legends out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'd seen the clips. They were talking about and asking how I wipe my ass, I believe. Is that the conversation?
Oh, yeah, lots of speculation.
What were they thinking? What were they?
Well, Bert Kreischer first said Pat McAfee has an ass on him, and then it led into multiple theories about the way you take a shit and multiple theories about the way you wipe your ass. He kind of outed himself as a back-to-front type guy.
Oh.
It was hilarious.
Okay, thank you, Mooney. Yeah, it was a fascinating conversation. Mm-hmm. And, that show, Two Bears, One Cave, two talented minds just kind of unloading with no real place to go and just kind of wherever we end up with different ideas is a very good show. Them ending up, they showed a picture of me in my AFL uniform. And obviously those shorts are a little bit high because you got to be able to kick the footy around.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I assume that led to the conversation about my legs. And then shitting is a real thing, because I feel like I do have a much different experience back there. And it's not just me. It's all, I think, big-legged people.
Uh-huh.
Well, everyone knows you use a Fluid Master.
Yeah, when I didn't have the bidet life with the big, clean butt, with the jet tired underneath there, I was a foot up on the lid. Got to have that open space out
Might
there.
as well.
Okay. Wet wipe guy. Always have. Always
Till
have
the
been.
day I die.
Wet wipe until you get the bidet life. And then once you move into the bidet life, you're like, oh, this is a wet wipe without the wiping or the wetness on my hands.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You will not catch me anywhere without some fucking wet wipes handy.
Yeah, because it can come out of nowhere. And whenever you got to go, you got to go. Even when you're out in the middle of Lake Minnetonka with the Arctic wolves in a lean-to.
Yeah, porta potty that the blustery winds blew the top off of.
Negative 20
unfortunately.
degrees.
Yeah,
Actual wolves,
yeah.
potentially.
I didn't have any wet wipes out there.
Oh, you said is that why? Is that the last reminder?
That was the
Fucking
scariest
never
environment
again.
imaginable.
We were just walking across that lake. I didn't even think until afterwards. They're like, yeah, wolves run across this lake.
It was
Yeah.
negative 20 with 600-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how many times you get to walk amongst the wolves?
True.
You know what I
It
mean?
was awesome too. I was walking out there. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fall through the ice and I'm just gonna die, and they're never gonna be able to find me. It's dark as shit out here. Hopefully that porta potty is structurally sound.
I think we'd be
it
up
was not.
We'd be up in 3 hours for our
The radio
7 a.m.
show.
radio show.
Tony, didn't you stick your head in the hole?
I did.
Yep.
I was looking for a fish.
Yeah, because it was hard to find in a couple of those holes.
You and I are not the best
anglers. I don't think we're the
around.
best anglers. So you go into these sheds on Lake Minnetonka, and they're set up like cabins, and they got TVs, and it's nice. It's actually pretty cool. And you just sit down, and they got holes drilled into the floor that go in there, and you literally just drop something in there and you sit there.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a carnival game because a couple of the holes, more specifically, my hole, Diggs's hole, no fish. But the 5 to 6 holes surrounding our holes, within inches of our holes, hot. I mean, it was a buffet in those holes.
Yeah.
We had to wait 4 or 5 hours for me to pull a fucking swordfish out of that thing. By the way, I had to go to a different hole. Nobody will talk about that. My hole was potentially,
faulty.
a little skunky down there. But that was a night we'll never forget. And that was the night you were reminded, got to bring your wet wipes everywhere.
Everywhere.
Even if you're heading on to Lake Minnetonka.
That's right.
What was it that got you? You think it was the shot with the fish inside of it?
No. We had those juicy Lucy's, those burgers that are just stuffed full of cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so good.
Hey, Minnesota was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
I had a good time in Minnesota. Let's go to. It was cold as shit.
Oh my God.
Speaking of cold as shit, Riley in Canada, what's going on, dude?
How's it going, boys?
Hey, just hanging out. How cold is it up there? Pretty cold. Where part of? Are you up there, way up north of Canada, or are you America, Canada?
No, we're 4 hours north of Toronto.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's up there. It's cold. Yeah. Riley, we got about a minute left in the show. What do you want to talk about, brother?
I just want to give a quick shout out to my Michigan Wolverines, Jim Harbaugh being 5-0. And I wanted to lead that into Jabril Pepper's little celebration at the coin toss against the Saints. A little bit of Matt Hasselbeck-ish presentation there going on by him.
Hey there, pal. Don't you think there?
Yeah.
I appreciate you. A little shout out. I fucking I love Canada, dude. Yeah. We won it. Fuck them. Yeah, that was awesome. And they did.
They won.
And they ended up winning. Yeah.
Hasselbeck threw a pick six.
Yeah, and so a little bit different.
Yeah.
Completed pass with success to the other team. But I like the fact that he did it. We're big Matt Hasselbeck fans.
Oh, yeah. Love the guy.
But we won it. Fuck them. And then them going and winning it. Awesome.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, incredible.
I wish I would have seen that overtime instead of the Jets-Titans one. It took
good
up the entire
God.
first quarter. Tonight, massive risk-free same-game parlay Thursday night football game. Get in on the bet at FanDuel. It's right across the top of the sportsbook. Opt in and let's go ahead and make this money. Can't wait to chat with you tomorrow for a Feel-Good Friday as AJ Hawk will be sitting in studio. I will be at another place in San Jose. We can't wait for it. Chris Mad Dog Russo, Mad Dog Unleashed is next. Cheers. Welcome to PMS After Hours, a real show.
Oh, yeah.
That is planned upon every single day.
Every day. Always. Got a separate sheet for it.
Just a quick reminder, though, for everybody watching this After Hours show, which I'm probably going to have to leave pretty soon. I kind of am going against everything I'm saying because I'm enjoying the conversation with you guys. But with the conversation I'm having right now, be worth me potentially missing. First quarter doesn't fucking matter.
Well, when you have touchdowns on the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
You
think
might miss two
every
either.
quarter.
Would
yeah,
you like to
you're
have
100%
seen the first quarter between Packers and Steelers?
I was not happy about that.
So,
Packers Steelers, by the way, big game tonight, big game. You're right. So with that being said, why don't you guys tweet us a picture of your delicious real country style rib sandwich with hashtag PMS pork rib on Twitter for a chance to win Arby's gift cards and their legendary meat sweats.
Wow. Sweats?
Yeah, these meat sweats have upgraded quite a bit. The meat sweats are something you will want, and there's only a limited time offer here.
That's right.
There's not a lot of these meat sweats, so winning some of them is obviously something you will hold in high regard for the rest of your lives. You will hope that you can potentially have a magnet big enough to put it on the refrigerator so you can remember and your kids can see that you won some meat sweats or an Arby's gift card because you ate the incredible real country style rib sandwich from Arby's and tweeted a picture of it with hashtag PMS pork rib.
Let's go.
Sandwich is delicious.
There's been people that have tweeted me the picture of them eating the delicious sandwich. It is fantastic. And they have not used the hashtag PMS pork rib. PMS pork rib.
Yes.
I don't think we're handling the selection, by the way, so make sure you use that.
Oh, okay.
So there's people tweeting me like, I love Arby's. That used to be our, or I want Arby's or whatever it was. I appreciate you guys getting in the game and recognizing how good Arby's is and having the respect for a real country style rib sandwich that was roasted slow and low for 8 hours in East Texas, every single one of them. It is delicious. Use hashtag PMS pork rib. Now, with that being said, I should get going.
Yeah, get out of Dodge. You don't want to miss the quarter tonight.
Yeah, like especially on these Thursday games. Like we've been through Houston and Carolina and Cincinnati and Jacksonville, and we finally got one.
Hey, maybe we do a Spaces tonight, huh?
Yeah,
there you go.
I love those. I enjoy those Spaces. I think that's why I enjoyed the hockey talk. You know, just hockey talk live. Like, I enjoy live
The
stuff.
comments were fun, too. Just shooting
I was
the
in
shit,
there.
talking about the Bruins winning the Cup finally this
They're
year.
not.
That's not
Yeah, they are.
No, the Pittsburgh Penguins are bringing it home. It's coming home.
Penguins lost to
Hockey
Ned.
Town is back.
Red
You
Wings
guys
stink.
fucking
Yeah, Fox-
stink.
Red Wings fucking stink.
Players can't even play. They're not allowed to.
Yeah, you guys aren't even allowed to play hockey. And you weren't even invited to the hockey tournament a couple years ago when it was in a bubble in the middle of a world stoppage. Your team wasn't even invited. You're not a team. Bruins, you guys stink.
We're very good.
You guys are all playing for second, and fucking Stoner's still, lacing up the skates.
You guys lost Flyer.
You guys ran Flurry out of town.
Yeah, exactly.
You
You
don't
don't
have
have
a goalie.
You don't have a goalie. You don't have a goalie.
We're gonna take your goalie.
You don't have a
No,
goalie.
you don't
We're
have a
gonna
goalie.
take your goalie.
2K ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
2 years, 2Ks. He's staying in Boston.
Hey, wait till
pal.
Mario Lemieux gets on the horn with old Pasta, too.
Didn't he just leave?
And Sean.
Pasta's winning the MVP.
Didn't he just
this
leave
year.
the playoffs?
Tuca's not
last
even
year?
playing.
No.
Yeah.
You don't even know
Tuca
your
left.
team.
He's
not even
Fucking
playing.
loser.
Tuca's playing.
He ain't playing.
That's fake news. Tuca's playing.
Anyways, for those that don't know a lot about hockey, you just need to know that the Penguins are the best fucking team in the league. Always have been, always will be winning the Stanley Cup.
Keep an eye out for the Kraken. They are fucking
Kraken are
feisty so
fine.
far.
That's the Seattle team. They are very new, yes. We didn't know they existed until they were introduced to the league in an expansion team up to Seattle because those fans up there at Pacific Northwest, they go banana land.
They also gave Sean Kemp an extra small shirt, and
Yes,
that
they
kind
did.
of stole the
Oh,
show.
I forgot about
talk
that.
about
Yeah, but the Kraken name, I think, was a cool one. People
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
let's
it
go
was.
Kraken.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the fans do in those Kraken games because the Seattle fan base, no
In
matter
the
what.
crack house.
Is that what it's called?
That's what fans are calling it.
That's
Crack
awesome.
house.
Take us down to the crack house.
With a K?
They're going to be throwing Kraken onto the ice like in
Oh, like
Detroit.
they used to do that when
They
they were
used
winning.
to.
Yeah, they haven't won in a long
They haven't
time.
won in a long
Yeah,
time.
the league banned us.
You guys suck.
You guys are throwing what, octopi?
Yeah.
Sneak it in, loser.
Speaking of,
By the way, octopus, plural is octopuses. And it's because it's of Greek foundation, not Latin.
yeah.
So whenever I tweeted last night, hey, one of the ways I start a tweet that I am, prefacing with just a heads up on where I'm at right now. So, and I said octopus, probably aliens, right?
Yes.
But I said octopi, and I got a bunch of Englishans that hammered me with, no, it's actually octopuses because it's Greek instead of Latin or whatever. Those are the things yins were throwing onto the ice. Those are some of the most impressive things on earth. That my octopus teacher thing I watched a couple months ago or whatever.
As well.
Hey,
They're crazy.
Very smart.
It's insane. They're like the smartest thing of all time. or what?
There's an 18-foot octopus can fit in this and then take the lid off and get out of it.
They're doing that to aquariums. Aquariums have to lock and triple lock them because they're starting to figure out how to fucking open it and get out of there. They transform in color, shape, and size.
Camouflage.
They're crafty, slimy bastards.
They're
And
unbelievable.
the shark, I'm going into Shark Tank tomorrow night over there.
Shock.
The shark is scared to death of an octopus is coming out and fucking them up.
They are delicious, though.
What?
Sharks are kind of bitch-made cats.
Whoa!
That really doesn't. That doesn't surprise me that
People don't
much.
realize that.
Yeah.
What?
That's not true.
Where did that come from? Is this because of 15 straight shark weeks and not one attack?
Yeah.
Where it's just a different group of white people jumping in shark-infested waters every 30 minutes and we're all waiting for it, and it hasn't happened for 13 years.
I was like, all right, these cats are bitch-made.
All right.
No way.
Coach JB will be on tomorrow.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Let's get out of here. I got to take this computer. I appreciate you all so much, man. I'm going to go hop on a plane that, by the way, shouldn't fly. Okay? So that'll probably be a tweet you'll hear from me. That'll probably because I'll be in there all by myself.
They say that about jellyfish, that they are aliens.
Yeah? Squids as well, or no? Is that just
I think
people
so.
saying
I
that because
think
Squid
all
Game?
that whole
calamari is
squid
so
thing.
good.
Calamari is very good. Alien taste.
Well, then you start thinking about, like, Sam said this last night, and this whole conversation about the octopuses started because we saw the teacher one. And I was impressed by the dedication of that guy. Because that water had to be so cold.
That guy was in love with that octopus.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What are you saying?
Foxy.
I think he's saying what we're all thinking.
Yeah.
All right. Those
I haven't
rocks were
seen the
very
film.
sharp. That was very cold water.
Yeah.
Those were great shots, but he had to be getting fucked up out there.
They were
I-
both
I-
inking.
Huh?
You're talking about them together.
No. Well, that's what Foxy was alluding to. What I'm saying is that was obviously the dedication out of that person proving how smart octopuses are and everything like that. Like that was insane to me because I thought they had no souls, no hearts, no nothing. I just thought they were going around at the bottom of that whole thing. So the octopus teacher definitely opened my eyes. But then there was a video of a video of somebody with a hose spraying an octopus or something, and the octopus was just changing colors and just completely changing, like I almost want to say reskinning itself, but it really was like just changing as this person was holding a hose on it. I was like, well, maybe that lady had a relationship with this octopus like that dude had with that octopus, and although that octopus was small, this octopus grew to be bigger, and now it's like taking it on a walk, and the only way you can walk is with a hose. So that's how high I was.
Okay.
Just as people are wondering what I was thinking. But Sam also saw those whales. Those got to be dinosaurs, right? Those fucking
Blue whales?
Oh.
Yeah.
They're massive.
I'm back.
Blue whales are
Blue
the
whales,
size
the biggest.
of a hockey rink.
Yeah.
Hey guys, they had to be around forever, right?
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, dinosaurs are fake though. So
What?
dinosaurs are fake.
Why are you saying that? I didn't expect to stay around this long, but
I
if this is going to
apologize.
be the
This
statements that
is
are made.
pretty deep, but Big Museum wants you to go to the museum and see these dinosaurs that they find every year, and every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's Big Museum lying to everybody.
Who introduced you to this big museum theory?
My science book in 2001, maybe.
Oh, so you've had this since high school, middle school?
Middle school, yeah.
You've said, listen, this is all fugazi?
Yeah, Miss Lisa, you're a liar.
So you think the bones that are found are actually just created by these scientists that run these museums?
Paper mache.
No, they can't be paper mache because they run like carbon tests and everything on them. But the people
have you
who
seen
would,
the test though?
Yeah, I have not, but the people who would run the test would know how to create something like that. But with that being said, I think it is very. I mean, you look at a rhino. I mean, a rhino. If you
Yeah,
look
exactly.
at alligator.
Yeah. Like those were dinosaurs, yes. I'll agree
Oh,
with
you're
that.
saying like the big Tyrannosaurus Rex
Fake.
ain't real.
Yes.
Oh,
Them
no,
saying-
you're going to piss off a large community.
come at me. I'm ready for
hey,
you
that,
guys.
hey, that Rex community, I think, is very real. AQ
Yeah.
Shipley found a lot of hope in that Tyrannosaurus Rex whenever he was coming into the NFL with short arms and big body.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so the
So he's my dinosaur, not
AQ.
those fake ones.
I hope Dr. Alan Grant takes his Velociraptor claw and slits your throat, dude.
It'll be a fake ass claw.
It'd still slit your throat.
You are going against a lot of people's passions. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying I'm necessarily in the dinosaurs are 100% real camp. I never thought of it. I just assumed yes. I didn't think of the big museum theory until you have introduced
Thank
it to
you.
my life there. I mean, maybe.
How about like every year they're finding a new one?
It's because they're getting better digging equipment? No.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, it's all together. Every bone's there. Crazy.
But yeah, when you die, you normally fall in one spot.
Yeah, when an asteroid hits you.
Tony. Depends on how
Checkmate,
far
Tony.
you are
That's
away.
not how they died.
Yeah, but who knows if the Big Bang Theory is real? You know what I mean? Great show.
Exactly.
Great show, but who knows? Zeta.
Exactly.
I mean, we know. Hey, we don't know shit about fuck, dude.
No, we
Hell
don't.
yeah.
No.
I mean, we openly admit it, though.
Yeah.
But I think a lot more people should.
I mean, it's not even the year 2021 when you really think about it.
Oh, Jesus.
If you really want to get into it.
Holy shit.
All right. We got to go. It's been fun. I'm going to go hop on a plane now.
Yeah.
This should be fun. I'll go into a capsule of things that shouldn't be happening all by myself after this conversation. This is good. So, see you guys later. 1.5 million subscribers. We appreciate all of you.
Yeah.
I'd assume a large majority, actually stats say a large majority don't watch the entire show. They just watch a lot of clips. You know, the clips coming in their lives. But those who stick around for this show, fucking thank you.
Love you.
Honestly, thank you so much. I have no idea why. We have no idea why. I think it's because, just like me, I enjoy the hell out of hanging out with you guys. I appreciate this a lot. Thank you for allowing me to do this on a day-to-day basis. You guys absolutely crush it. The people that watch every single day, the amount of handshakes that I can do this to, you know, because the amount of people that follow along and support this entire thing, I can't thank you guys enough. Let's continue to build.
Hell yeah.
Oh, there
Let's
we go.
continue to put on above average shows.
Here we go.
Sometimes some shows are going to be the shits. All right,
Sure.
that's going to happen sometimes. I'm not sure how often it happens, and to be honest, I don't remember really much we talk about as soon as I leave there, so I don't know if it's a good show or not until maybe weeks down the road whenever I'm reminded of it. But we're going to continue to try to do our thing, and we thank you so much for being a part of the ride. Hammer Dahn is 15 minutes after this show ends at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. That's Hockey Talks available. The pod is once a week.
Hell yeah. What? Same game parlay tonight. Make sure you're opted in.
Same game parlay tonight. Make sure you're updated.
Oh, you want to change the subject?
My bad.
No,
Yeah, the pod still once a week,
it is
huh?
once a week. Hey, talk about that risk-free same-game parlay next Wednesday, when you guys' next episode is on the pod.
We will. Okay, yeah.
All right, next Wednesday.
We will.
All right, I appreciate you guys. See ya. Everybody have a great Thursday night. We'll see you tomorrow.